Flag over the top. It is. And now it's going to be 1-1.
I don't know what that ref was looking at. That wasn't no
All
flag.
right, hey, my voice should be the only one out here in this room. Right? I don't care where you go in the draft. All right, we had every opportunity to win that game. All right, just like Anthony Edwards, we didn't pull it out. All right, and that's our fault. All right, 40 seconds left in the game, guys. All right, we up 6. Everybody watch Connor on defense.
Oh, my God. Connor Flagg. I'm going #1 in the draft, about to win a championship, play for Duke. Everything's great. All I got to do is play solid defense, finish out. All right, but I piss down my leg, forget to switch on the screen, leave the shooter unaccounted for, like government spending. All right, fall for the pump like I'm buying crypto, jumping in the air like Drewski. All right, the shot is up. 3 points.
All right, very next possession. All right, we got Davis inbounding the ball. All right, Davis. All right, what kind of Daniel Jones pass was that? I mean, damn it, son. Give us a chance. All right, defender gets his hand on it. All right, they take it right back like an influencer shopping haul. 2 points. All right, we up 1. All right, they foul Charles, send him to the line. All right, clutch free throws right here. We need these. All right, everybody watch Charles.
Oh, my God. The moment's bigger than anime titties. I'm scared to death, pissing down my leg. I wish I never even got fouled. Wish I never had the ball. But it's too late now. I'm in too deep like Mekhi Phifer or Steve Smith. I missed the shot, and they called my teammate for over the back.
All right, now we down 1. All right, we done scored 3 points in the last 3 minutes. Economy's so bad we can't even buy a bucket. All right, we give it to Connor. All right, he's locked down like Marvin Sapp's congregation. Shots up, ball game. All right, we let the university down, we let Kyrie Irving down, and we let the state down. All right, now Texas is better than us in barbecue and basketball. Nothing to hang our hat on. All right? This is why you can't play with your food. All right, when you got the enemy in your line of sight, you got to be man enough to pull the trigger. And Davis, I'm most disappointed in you. All right, because I know your mama knows how to finish a man off. Thought the apple didn't fall far from the tree.
Damn. You must have rolled down a hill or something.
I'm over here giggling. That was so funny. How are you, Street? Oh, yeah. So how are you, Coach?
Good.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was good, man. Y'all welcome to Hayes Street. But weekend was good. We back in the building. I got to give a shout out to Coach 30, man. That stuff classic. I ain't gonna lie to you. That stuff classic, man. And I know some of them players got to feel a certain way, especially if you to focus on one of those things. But about a week later, you're gonna find how funny it is. But when you're the victim of it.
Yeah. What's gonna happen is somebody that didn't play, that is kind of like that guy on the team, will see it and slowly be like, bro, did you see this? Did you see this, bro? And then it will be funny. But right now, maybe not. Maybe tomorrow.
The worst part is whoever that last guy is on every video gets it the worst. It's always going to be a your mama joke.
That's true.
But can I tell you, this is the beauty of what he's doing is this is how coaches talk. I hate to say this for people who may not know. This is how coaches talk. And some people may say, whatever. But believe this or not, one of the most boring places in a football, basketball, or wherever is the film room. It's dark, it's quiet, only one person is talking. Yeah. Right? So you gotta keep the.
So we have an intruder.
We gotta keep, we gotta keep. That was old Castaway.
An intruder.
So you gotta have a way to keep those guys up, man. Think about it. You ever sat in a dark room for an hour, not saying a word? That's really what it's like.
Maybe. Potentially.
And you're getting lectured.
I mean,
jail.
Depends on the definition of the word luxury.
Right. But like you say, jail lockdown. But what do you end up doing?
I wasn't talking about jail, honey. So
Really thought you said
I know what she was talking about.
she's in a dark room for an hour.
I'm like, I mean,
I tried to keep you.
say no.
He was in the pretzel making contest.
Situations, scenarios. So what can you say? Street, how are you, kind sir? How are you?
I'm stupendous.
Nice. Well, we are so happy that you have joined us today with your.
I didn't think y'all had me on camera.
I told them to take you down.
Put me in the back room. Glad I had no clothes when I walked here.
I told him the problem is when he takes me down, it gets all wonky on the screen.
No, but you know what? I thought that was your down screen. I thought that was your. I didn't know that was the live screen. I thought it was that.
Well, at least the background did look pretty. I mean, you didn't show up with any. You looked presentable.
It could have been bad. It could have been real bad.
Could have been worse. Could have been how you started this live. Oh, wait, we're not going to talk about that.
At least it ain't cold. Hey, only thing I can tell you, dog, you better hope it ain't cold outside.
I'm just kidding. So fellas, who we have in the championship tonight? We have the Houston Cougars playing
Let's go, Houston.
Florida Gators.
Oh, God.
Right.
So
I had to call a spade a spade. Being a Miami fan, listen, being a Miami fan, I had to call a spade a spade. I hate everything Florida. I just do. I don't like Florida State. I hate everything Florida. That's just me. You know what I mean? The business is the business. I get it.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, scratch out that G and make it Canesville. That's all I'm going to do.
Who you got, Street? Are you getting set up?
I think Florida. Florida just seems to be with the point guard, man. They just seem to be like they're destined for it. Houston ain't even supposed to be here.
Well, see, I was just gonna say the teams that aren't supposed to be there make me nervous because I feel like they're the ones where it's like the ball drops one way, you know what I mean? One guy's toe steps out of bounds, and before you realize it, you're like, how are they up by 5? Like, so I don't know.
Right.
But you're right, they're not supposed to be there. Duke blew it.
You watched? Yeah. Did you watch the game the other night, Flo? Did you actually watch it?
I did not watch the game. I watched the ending of the game, but I did not watch the game.
She got the Cliff Notes.
I didn't even think I got the Cliff Notes, honestly, because I didn't see anything in the first half. So I got the what I call it the Professor Edition. Which is
there you go. There you go. But it is amazing though. When, like, if you look at that ending, right? Like those last minute and 45 or whatever it was. That's always to me been the interesting thing in sport. How momentum, right? This intangible.
How what? What was the word you used?
Momentum.
Oh, okay. That's not what I heard. I don't know.
What it sound like?
It could have been me because I was telling you you have the reverberation happening in my ear. So that's why I was like, wait, what? Okay.
No, so I was saying like when you look at especially basketball, March Madness, the way momentum carries, and it's like the momentum meter goes from one side to the other, and it's a crazy phenomenon. You know, the way it works, the guy falling off balance, hits the game-winning 3. And it's like, bro, if he did that 10 times, he would only hit it that once.
Yep.
He couldn't reenact that and hit it. You know?
I know. That's the thing that's interesting about sports, though. It's like you can't measure it, right? You're like, everything's fine. And then one thing happens and then it's over. Like, there's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can say.
And then football is the same way, right? Like that Hail Mary pass that hits 3 different hands, and the dude just standing in the back of the end zone that falls right in his lap.
Right in the head, yeah. And what do? You did everything right except for the last play. So where are we located, by the way?
Man, we in a back alley somewhere waiting for it to get dark for about an hour. That's all I'm going to tell you.
What state are we in? What state are we in? Thanks, Street.
We in the 51st state. We in Canada.
Hawaii.
No, we in Canada. We in the 51st state. We
Let
in
him
Canada.
tell it. We're in Alaska, the 51st state. And most people don't know why that's a problem.
We in Canada right now. Eh?
Yeah. That's awesome. So I have a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was, doing my research for the show, because you know how we have our research and development time, when we're kind of getting ready for the show in the background. And I saw a 14 years, $500 million contract that was given to a Major League Baseball player, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So I just wanted to know, what do we think about baseball players? 500 million, 14 years, that is $35 million a year for the next 14 years, guaranteed, because it's baseball. So I was kind of wondering, where do we go wrong in life? 14 years, 500 million. I'm just kind of wondering, like, what do you guys think about that? Like, do you think that you failed at life? Do you think you missed something? Like, what happened? Why didn't you guys play baseball?
Skipping school.
Why didn't you guys go play baseball? What happened? What's going on?
You know what though? I just think, and I'll say this: being from Miami, I don't think it's something that was pushed. It probably was, but in our neighborhood, I don't know anybody in Carroll City. Well, that's not true. I know one guy in Carroll City that I know that I grew up with was heavy into baseball. One dude. I think, like I told you before, when I went to college, when I went to college,
we're echoing, Street. I think it's coming from your end.
Yeah. When we, like for example, when I went to college, right? One of my professors wrote this thing for Sports Illustrated about how we could dominate different sport. I think we could do a lot of those things, but we just don't get exposed to it enough. And
that's true.
One thing about baseball, in essence, you got to have the field, the equipment, so forth and so on. Football, basketball, you pick up a ball and you're good to go. You can play football anywhere, in the street, on a field, in a field, and you can even play in a gym. Basketball, there's rims everywhere. Every high school, every elementary school. Street, nobody going to them elementary schools dunking because they were only 8 feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, what we went wrong is our dad wasn't a goddamn pro baseball player like Vladimir Guerrero's dad, who's from Canada. But that's a start. I mean, your dad being in the league is a start. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I mean, I just feel like, too, it's like, I don't know. I also don't know anybody who has a son right now, except for one person who, and I'm talking like out of probably 20, 25 people that I know, who is not making their son, but really steering their son to playing baseball instead of playing football or basketball. Like, I feel like in our community, it's always like, oh, he's a basketball player, he's a football player, right? It's always like those two, but it's like, when are we going to do the redirect? Like, even now, I hear people that have kids that are like 5, 6, and they're like, yeah, ooh, he's going to play tackle this year. And I'm like, why? Go have him pick up a baseball. Go buy him a glove. Like,
because of the popularity of the sport, just like golf and anything else.
Like, yeah. So I just want to make an announcement right now. So let me clear my throat. If you're listening to me, get your child into baseball or have them start thinking about doing an OnlyFans. Okay, too far? Okay, so just focus on baseball.
OnlyFans.
Just focus on I mean, it seems like baseball and OnlyFans is where the money is these days. I mean, they're making more money than the NFL and pro basketball. So why not? What do we do? Or play soccer. Go play soccer.
Even soccer. Soccer is huge. Soccer. Here's what I'll say about those sports. They have become a money sport, right? The traveling baseball.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So those are deciding factors now, right? I don't know anybody that played high school baseball. And you would think, especially being in Miami, you're talking about the Caribbean. You would think baseball and soccer would be more dominant than football.
That's
or
true.
Just as dominant, because you have all of the islands who play soccer, from Jamaica to Haiti to Cuba, Puerto Rico, all these different places that grow up playing soccer. our soccer street, who is the gangster in soccer, dog? For high school football, like what high school is like?
Normally, with all them Jamaicans was pretty good at one point in time.
I don't even remember that. Like, I mean, they may have been. I'm not saying they weren't, but it doesn't have the same emphasis, I'm saying, as football does, right? And then baseball as well. You think about a lot of the Dominicans, again, Cubans and stuff like that. You would think they play baseball. Hell, even if you couldn't afford it, you would think our high school baseball teams would be pretty dominant. Even for the guys that couldn't afford to be on these travel squads, or maybe not even good enough, but they were good enough to have a very good baseball team.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That's true.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's just a lost career path that it's like, we don't even, I mean, I guess too, I haven't even heard of anybody. I don't hear of a lot of people that are like, I tried it and then we stopped because it was expensive. I usually hear people that just don't pick it. They choose something else. So, yeah. So,
the biggest thing is all this money that baseball gets. Like, think about, and I always try to figure this out. And somebody tried to explain this to me. Because I always think about the Marlins, right? And I used to work literally down the street from the Marlins. It was so empty, you could actually hear the games because there was no crowd noise.
Yeah.
They would come and give out tickets to us just to try to go. Like the tickets be $1.50, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after they built that brand new stadium, everybody went to go see the new stadium. And after that year, it was like empty. But I'm trying to understand, where do they get all of this money from?
Oh,
it ain't in ticket
corporations.
Sales.
No, go ahead. Sorry, I'm interrupting.
No, I'm just saying it's not in ticket sales. I know they get some TV money, but still, bro, what is?
So corporations is how they get. So I dug into this probably 6-7 years ago. Well, let me preface this by saying I live in Texas. We're good at baseball down here, so our stadiums aren't as empty as you all stadiums probably are. But I did the research on this a while ago. We win championships down here. So I don't know what y'all got going on. But one of the things it said was like corporations spend a ton of money on suites and tickets, and like they get chunks of tickets. So like 50 tickets, hundreds of tickets, and they use them for like clients and just different places. And so a lot of times, a lot of their money comes from corporations and sponsors. So like, and then, like inside the stadium, right? Like against the railroad track, you can have like a Pepsi logo, this logo, and then on the scoreboard. So they're making all of their money on their like random things that none of us are thinking about. But that stuff is expensive of how they promote in baseball. And then there's 162 games. So really, I mean, if if let's say a good team comes into your town every time, at least 12 times a year, those 12 games are going to sell out.
See,
and
Go ahead.
Are they tax free? Are they tax free? Major League Baseball?
Yeah, are they like nonprofit like football?
I don't know. Let's see. Because if they are, yeah.
Well, no. I mean, Hayes, think about it. It's how many games they play?
162.
Yeah, they play a lot of games.
Think about how much content that is. Just look at it that way. Think about how much content and commercials that is. Think about it.
When last time you seen a commercial?
No, it ain't for you, because everything now is so you only get what you like. So it's for the baseball people. So baseball doesn't come down my timeline, but I bet you it comes down a baseball guy's timeline, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like we're not forced to watch anything anymore. Everything is given to us like, hey, like football. Football comes down this timeline. So, but think about it. Teddy Bridgewater was really good in baseball. Really good. Probably better baseball player than football player. Right?
Yeah.
You just don't want to play the sport because the sport isn't cool. It takes a dad, a dad to put his kid there, kind of like Tiger Woods in golf. And his dad puts him in golf. His dad walks him through the process. The kids don't want to do it because it's not cool. It's not fun. Nobody's watching. Can't get your girls.
Yeah.
until you get $500 million from $32.6 million a year. At one time.
I love baseball. Like I think I know a lot of people say it's boring and all the things, but I feel like it is a real football or baseball is one of those sports that, like, if you want to understand business, baseball makes no sense to you because you're like, I don't see the people. How is this working? And then you look on the back end and you're like, oh, this is how businesses make money. Sponsorships, TV rights. And I think baseball too does the revenue sharing, like everybody. So even if you're in a little market, you know, you still get a part of that revenue sharing. So I don't know. I just saw that come across my thing. I'm like, 14 years, 500 million. That's $35 million a year. All right.
Damn. Wow. So what's funny is when I came to when I got to the high school up here, Olympia, they had a young man named Nick Gordon. I think that was Flash Gordon's son. He was just coming out. He was huge. He was, you know, big time. He had gotten drafted, you know, straight out of high school or whatever. I didn't follow. I just looked it up right now. He plays with the Minnesota Twins, but or he did, I guess, or still is, whatever. But oh no, he's with the Marlins right now. Just went to the Miami Marlins in 2024. So, but anyway, with all that being said, I think about it, and I think about these contracts. You hear these like astronomical numbers when it comes to their contracts. And to your point, like you say, revenue sharing, I know that maybe, you know, the Yankees probably have a way different revenue stream than the Marlins do, right?
Yeah.
Just because of who they are, and so forth, and maybe the Dodgers or whatever the case may be. But some of these numbers, I'd be like, God, and it's all guaranteed. So they're not even banking like, hey, we're going to get some of this back. You know, I don't know, man. Like you say, I'll just go back and say this. A lot of it is, like Street said, one, it's not cool anymore. It's just like the golf club. If we pick up a golf club, we'll kill it. If we pick up a lot of stuff, a tennis racket, all of those things, but that's what they call the country club sports. It costs money to do those type of things, right? It costs money to get probably the proper trainers and so forth and so on. And so it can get very expensive really quick, you know. And then as a kid, to Street's point, if you don't have a dad that pushes you, Mama, this ain't cool. None of my other friends playing. They be talking about their football game was lit. I go to baseball game, it'd be just you out there, Mama.
Like, think about this though. If you're a black kid though, and you're the only black kid playing baseball, I mean, bruh, I'm just saying.
It ain't lit.
But like, you can make it lit. Like, you're the only. Like, I mean, what better place to be? If you want to be diverse and stand out, go play baseball. Like,
Street. Now you got Footballville, you got all of them Optimist games. When have you ever heard of a Little League Optimist game for baseball having the same amount of people as the doggone what they call them, the Miami Garden Ravens versus, for our day, back in the day, it was Scott Lake Vikings versus the North Day Bulldogs.
Game.
I'm talking about Little League, the 80-pounder sold out. The 90s sold out. The 100s, 110, 140. Boy, when them 150s come on, baby, that's clacking time, boy. You think about it now, 150 pounds, though, that's like Floyd Mayweather out there playing. That's heavier than Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah. Does anybody in the comment section have any recollection of a baseball rivalry in their town where it's like, oh my God, like, does it exist?
It does exist. It isn't though, like, because it doesn't get the attention. It doesn't get the. Again, I'm in Texas, and Texas, I think baseball is a little bit different. I'm not going to sit here and act like we have all these black people playing baseball in Texas, because we don't. But as a sport, because our college teams are really good in baseball, I think that helps with youth wanting to potentially get those scholarships to go to those schools that are good at baseball. And there are rivals, but it's not nearly as close as football. Like, it's not even close. It's just, you can't even. I think I honestly, if somebody argued with me, well, no, youth soccer is pretty big here. I think youth soccer is bigger than baseball is here.
Yeah.
At least from what I've seen. Yeah. And then I think it flips to high school because, like I said, there's a lot of good universities in Texas for baseball. So you know how that happens. If you're good at it at a university, you're going to have your group of kids that always want to go to Rice or to TCU. You know what I mean? Or like these schools that are really good at baseball. I mean, obviously, the University of Texas is also good at baseball, but I was just going to let y'all make it today.
Yeah. I got you. I see.
Got my hair washed.
Here's what I say before I get the link on
look, I got my hair washed. So
you flip your hair like that.
She got style, body, and
got
shine.
my hair washed.
So, but here's what I'll just say real quick. I got you. But Cristiano Ronaldo, is that right? The soccer dude?
Yeah.
He's got a whole training facility here called R9. I think Orlando, what do they call it? Orlando, what's the name of the Orlando team here? Orlando something. They took it over, but soccer is huge here in Orlando now. Huge. They got Brazilians that's playing. Everybody's playing soccer. So they've dumped a lot of money into it. But yeah, definitely, man. Let's see what we got here. How many views that video got?
This one only got 28,000. Youth football, Golden Army versus Lottie Hill Lions. This was like maybe this one went viral, and I'm gonna show you why. Maybe 10,000 people out here or something like that.
At a park.
Say something else.
24K Golden Girls, that's right. Man, you versus everybody.
My Lord. And this is why popularity.
Yeah.
Nick Lanier, Miami Northwestern wide receiver. Nick Lanier, 4-star. Now this is him as a little kid. And hey, this is royalty free music, so you can let her. I'm gonna skip through it, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna skip through it, but I'm gonna show you how many people that part.
Wow, look at all those tents.
Oh, it gets crazy. Watch this.
There ain't no bleachers.
There's no bleachers.
Everybody, 24K versus everybody.
You talking about 6-year-olds, dog.
I think maybe they were 9-year-olds here. Okay, so.
Was that a missed field goal?
That video went viral with the little heavy boy kicked the field goal.
Did he make it?
Did he miss it?
He made it. He made it. He's like the defensive lineman. He's really he's like the defensive lineman. He's a huge kid, and it went viral. So he made it.
Well, they rushing the field for a 9-year-old game, dog.
That's who made the field goal right there. He made
But I told y'all, y'all ain't gonna lose. But I won't get it. Quarterback, baby. Put it up. Put it up. Put it up, nation.
I don't know, bro. It's just like that's a 9-year-old game, and I can show you the other ones as they became 10 and 11. How it became. Hey, they packed out Pace High School. Mm-hmm. You had to park a mile down the road. And I'll show y'all that game later. You had to park a mile down the road to get in the game.
But you know what's amazing about that street? you can see them kids' personality at 9.
At 9.
I told y'all, boy. Like it's coming off of them. It's just a way of life. You know, it's no different than anybody's niche, their way of life. Whether you grew up in the rodeo cowboying and whatever that is, or if you did whatever. And that's why kids don't play, but it's amazing. I still say it's amazing that even our Caribbean and Hispanic cultures don't get more into the baseball and soccer in high school or little leagues. I'm not saying they have that kind of turnout, but I mean, imagine the amount of kids that you can put out just from, like, Miami should be the mecca when it comes to everything but hockey and maybe basketball. I still should have some basketball players, but I'm talking about the mecca of recruiting when it comes to those three teams.
I think yeah. I think it's sad though, because I think it's a missed opportunity. I think it's a huge missed opportunity. I mean, I think there are so many talented football players that we can probably all think of that you're like, man, he's hella athletic, but he just, he's not the best of the best. So therefore, this is as far as he went. That I just always wonder, like, could he have hit a baseball? Like, obviously at 21, it's kind of hard to like transition and start trying to hit a baseball, but it's like, I don't know, but you don't really know. And I don't know. But again, I also think the pace of the game impacts people because it's so slow. And so everything you just saw there, you're not able to do that at a baseball game. You kind of have to sit and wait, right? You have to wait and you have to let the pitcher throw the ball and then you have to walk out. And then, so it's like,
it's a lot of, it's like
more methodical. Yeah.
And that, matter of fact, there was another sport I didn't even thought about. Our track. Like, our kids are known for speed. They run track, but it's like they run track because most coaches make it a prerequisite for football, not because I'm trying to be this track athlete. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where I can,
yeah.
But bro, I'm telling you, it's crazy out there.
Incoming.
Yeah, we have this thing too where it's like, yeah, it's actually kind of sad. The more I think about it, I'm like, what a missed opportunity.
This is probably in front of 8,000 people, and you can actually see them in the stands on this one.
Is what Ivy League.
Yeah, that's whatever that was.
Introducing.
You don't want to go to Ivy League?
We ain't ducking nobody.
No, look at the stands, though. There may be 9 years. There may be 9 years. There may be 10 years. This may be the next year. Hey, this was the first time I left this game, and I'll let y'all watch how it ended. Saying to myself, these are 10-year-old kids that we're asking to go out there. Hey, listen, boy, get the game on the line, and I'm gonna show you how it ended. In front of 8,000 people. That was the first time I actually thought about it. You know what I'm saying? You're asking the 8-year-old to go out there, call a play, get everybody lined up. You're asking the safety, bro, at the age of 10 and 9. Watch how it ends once again with Nick Lanier. Watch this.
Oh no!
Look at that. You know how to be a star at 9, dog. Look at this. They celebrating everything.
They celebrate.
Hey, look at it. They know how to celebrate. Look at this.
Look at all these people, dog. 9 years old, bro.
But can I give some credit to the kids in the orange? Go back street.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they didn't start. They didn't pout. They didn't.
They hurt.
Yeah.
But the only thing I'm saying too.
Oh yeah, but they didn't like put their head down or like push the guy who ran in front of them. Like they just let it be.
like what I'm saying is, and this is when people, I know we probably have a lot of people that watch us maybe from South Florida, they kind of understand it, but for the people that don't, these kids have been in adverse situations. You seeing this firsthand. Bro, how many 9-year-olds could say that? He's so focused, he gonna catch the ball in front of all them 9,000 people yelling your name.
9 years old, right? That was the first time I thought about the pressure. I was like, man, that's a lot of pressure on a 9-year-old, bro. Like, and he actually caught the ball between two people. And we asked him to do it like it's normal. So when I went to the military, right, and I saw football in North Carolina really flawed, that's when the idea of footballville came up, because I thought what we were seeing down here was normal. And I was like,
no, it's not.
oh, this looks like football. Like, this looks like this is nice. So I was like, no. I got to show the world what football in South Florida looks like. And it is totally different.
The sad part is that's for the win. We ain't gonna get into how much money's in the stands being moved about behind that. We ain't getting into that part.
Right.
And those kids at 9 understand that, right?
Yeah.
Here's the thing: you've been doing this so young that, like you say, there's no such thing as big moments. I've been in big moments since I was. We're talking about 9. What are you? 4th grade, 5th grade? You're in 4th and 5th grade, bro. You're in elementary school, bro.
And people are there for you, right? Like you play, and you probably play both ways, and you probably like all the things. So like it's normal for you. You're like stadium with 100,000. I've been dealing with this since I learned how to catch a football.
Yeah, and it kind of shows.
On Saturdays.
I don't know. They have some epic. They
unless you play for the Hurricanes.
That's just one rivalry. I can't think of like the biggest one that I could pull up.
I remember the Job Corps used to be packed over there on 183rd. They had a field in the back of Job Corps, and them things be packed. I don't know who was playing who.
Incoming, Hayes, throw that up there. You can freely dress like Castro.
I thought the word was showtime.
You can freely dress like Castro.
Look at him fixing his gloves.
Yeah.
No, and not. Oh, no, they're probably 11 at this point. This is at Hollandale High School.
With that Nike shirt on.
Huh?
So what's dog name right there with that Nike shirt on? Oh, he looked familiar.
This is Chaminade current quarterback right here. Number 1 was the quarterback of this team. He's Chaminade current quarterback. And Zero plays for Chaminade.
Where does Zero get all that swag from?
Huh?
Well, so where does Zero get all that swag from?
Listen, their uniform designer, dog, is one of the most talented artists I've seen. He does all the rappers, CDs. Dog, he created the footballville picture back there. He's a very, very creative guy, the one who designed these uniforms with the helmets, and very creative guy. But it's a big deal. Like people who've never witnessed this before, this is a big deal in South Florida.
Street, back that up just a little bit. Street, back that up back it up about 10 seconds. I want you to see something. When them boys walk by, watch my man in the green.
Watch who?
Back it up a little bit more, about 10 more seconds. The dude in the green see him, he started clapping up like, yeah, let's get it. Right about there. Right there. Click the button.
Yeah.
Keep going. Go back some. Go back some more. Right there. Watch my man start clapping it up. Yeah, baby. I want this. This is what I'm saying. We talking about, what are they, 11 now? Ain't none of them got bass in their voice. Let's go, team.
Right. So that's Lotta here. So yeah, right. I just realized that's Golden on me walking past Lotta here, and he like, yeah. And bro, listen, I created Footballville to catch these moments. Like Footballville was never supposed to be like ESPN. It was to catch these
pageantry moments of moments like this that I felt something in. Hayes, you can feel it when it's game time, right? Even right, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I created it, to catch these moments.
What do you mean? I can't feel it when it's game time? Unbelievable.
You're from a different culture. Like, you're from a different, like, I don't know if this moves you. Like, this is
unbelievable.
Nah, it's different, bro. And this go way back to, like you say, Scott Lake, North Dade, right? Remember the boys club, right? They had them,
right.
You know, used to play all the different teams or whatever.
I finally saw somebody that looked like a kid. His glasses were way too big on his face.
That glass is way too big.
I loved it.
Think about this. They throwing the ball at this age, dog. Back in that day, it was student body left, student body right.
15 years old.
No, he's throwing the ball. Yeah, for sure. You could go.
Oh, that boy's. Hold up, boy. That boy looking like Aaron Hall out there, boy. Pause that right quick, boy. Who that is? I don't even recognize this dude.
Happy mamas.
What happened to your face, dog? That thing.
That was right after I got the surgery. Dog. I was skinny as hell, dog.
Is that like I always say? Oh, I was skinny once.
I was thin, dog.
That's so funny.
My dog, boy. Yeah. Hey. I ain't even recognize you, boy. I didn't know who that was out there, boy.
Nah, bro. I mean, one day I'm gonna sit down and we can go through those rosters, and the kids, like, I created it for now. Nick Lanier is a 4-star, being recruited by everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
We've been designing and swagging out our uniforms since before me and you see this in 2000 where everybody had color. Yeah, bro. Like, man, look at you talking about the sock. We used to actually wash our cleats, dog. I used to put my cleats in the washing machine in a pillowcase. Yeah. Y'all don't know about that one, Street. Put your cleats in the washing machine in a pillowcase. So it don't tear them up. Come on, man.
I just think it's interesting. So it's funny because, like, we have it in Texas, but I don't know. I feel like here it's different. Like, as far as like the crowds and stuff, I mean, I don't know. I don't really measure. I don't know. But like, as far as like uniforms and jerseys and like the kids just acting like whatever. But I always say I think the kids are a little bit more spoiled here.
Of course.
Because it's just different. You know what I mean? Like, overall, I think it's just different. I think it's different in size. When I say size, I mean like the size of programs. Like, I'm sure they do. There's the politics of it, right? Where like some kid's gonna go here and and who's gonna come watch you play. But I always say Texas football is ran by the Texas Coaches Association, and they know everything that's going on, even if it's freaking little league, teams. Yeah. So
I told you, like. The whole time I was in Miami, I ain't know nothing about no booster club. I heard of them. We had one. There was a couple parents, they try to feed the kid. But we talking about booster club. When I moved up here, booster club, they're like, yeah, cool, we need to do this. We got this, and that. We put on golf tournaments. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had all types of. I'm like, damn, this is what a booster club is like?
Yeah.
And that is the difference, because I talked to a coach from Texas, and he was talking about that. You guys hire strength and conditioning coaches just for high school. They're not the head coach that do weight room. You guys have all of those things set in place, and you invest in the program.
Yeah.
And I guess the flip side to it is coaches that recruit them, they always used to say, what you see in a Texas kid coming out of high school is what you're going to get out of a Texas kid, because he's kind of maximized himself, right, for the most part. What you see out of his 12th grade film is kind of really who he is. In essence, you're going to some skills, but think about the size of those Texas kids when you see the kid from Duncanville, like their bodies and stuff. You see our kids, go look at our kids and go look at after their freshman year picture. They necks are this big. They have a proper weight room, proper nutrition.
I mean, Travis Hunter. Do you remember Travis Hunter when he came out? I mean, he looked like a little twig. I looked at Travis Hunter the other day. I was like, who the hell is that guy? And where is that neck coming from? Who gave him that neck?
Look, and all you gotta do is go look at the headshot. Look at their neck. Their freshman year at the beginning when they leave high school to their freshman year. At the end of their freshman year, straight body transformation.
Yeah,
they're so raw. They are so raw.
They're my friend said it's he always says it's a moldable clay, because I always ask him, what are you looking for, like when you recruit? And he's like, the ability to see how far the clay has been molded and how far the clay can still be molded. That's kind of like how he classifies it.
This is epic shit. This is Jordan Battle's dad, Alabama. I don't know. He's in the league now. I don't know who Jordan Battle played for, the Alabama safety. This is Jordan Battle's dad at the game telling you what he told Nick Lanier after he fumbled the ball.
In the first half, he dropped the pick six. What you told him? I told him halftime.
Nick dropped the pick six and came to the sideline, and he said he was on the sideline crying.
I said, look, man, you're going to get it back the second half, and you're going to get the pick six. And it just happened.
Coaches be more fired up than the kids.
They do. Because I think the parents get it. Whereas the kids are just playing, they're just doing what they do.
Bro, only those Jordan Battle's dad, right? Telling me, you're going to get it back. He's just on the sideline. He ain't no coach. His son is at Alabama at the time. Like, he's just on the sideline.
He played for the Bengals.
South Florida shit really flawed.
No, I love it. I love it.
Texas has some of those same stories too, but I saw Friday night.
No, we do, but it's not. Well,
it was a little clean. Friday night Texas was a little cleaner. It was a little.
I was just gonna say, I feel like I think there's different levels in Texas. I think Texas is very much about levels.
Y'all do background checks. We don't.
Like if you go, no, I'm just saying, like if you go to one side of town, you're gonna get this every weekend. If you go to another side of town, you're not going to get that. You're going to get guys who are literally running plays and in formations. You know what I mean? Like you're going to get, like there is a football program in Central Texas that has former NFL players that coach like the whole division. Literally their 10-year-olds are like, they have wristbands and they're like running their plays in formations. Their guards are pulling. I mean, like, what are we doing, guys? These guys are 10, but that's that level, right? But then if you go somewhere else, they ain't doing that. You know, they're just having a good time. It's come to the park, you know, games are on. But I think here what happens, and maybe this happens in Florida too, is there ever like the east side versus the west side of kids that happens to meet, and you have the most athletic kids that you can find in the state of Texas versus the kids who have all the money that might not be as athletic, but they're going to run some plays. Right. So that happens a lot here where it's like, here comes the rich kids, right? Like coming over to our side of town. So, you know.
That's what Friday Night Lights was about, kind of, right? It was
kind of
versus, and then
and that happens. That happens a lot more than people would probably think. And then also, you know, so yeah, I agree. It's totally different. Same concept as far as like, you know, the kids are just playing and doing their thing, but yeah, totally different. I always said, so I was in Ohio for a little while, and even watching their high school football was fascinating to me. It was just because it's not like Texas. It's not like Florida. It's just like a different, I feel like they're bigger bodies. I feel like it's just like a different brand of football. It's all the same, but like they just look different. They're huge.
It's the Midwest. So their Midwest style is like, you know, dad played at this school, you're going to play at that school. It's kind of like the Friday Night Light type thing. Because I remember watching a documentary on Massillon, which is a high school there, Massillon, Ohio.
In Ohio?
Like, Tigers or something like that. But it's that same thing. Miami doesn't have that. I have to be honest. Miami doesn't have legacy football, in my opinion. There's some kids that do it, but you're not, for example, right? You may grow up a Northwestern Bull because your grandmama went there, but you'll transfer to Central in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to stick at Northwestern
You're
because
not loyal to.
Right. Your mama went there, your daddy met her there, skipping school in the 3rd grade, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. And you may start off there, but it sounds good, but you may transfer. But nobody's loyal to a school in essence, right? We're going to the best situation. They loyal to the situation. Is that fair?
Yeah.
That's fair to say?
Yeah. Some of their parents don't let them go, though. Some of them like.
It's like this many. What I'm saying is you think about how many kids, like if you think about those Midwest schools or whatever, you know, me, you, we all the same age. Me and your son on the team. Me and you was the old line, the fullback, and no, it don't work like Friday night. Like, man, look here, we going to the situation. We may go all the way across town. You know, you got some kids, for example. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, man. Shout out to Reggie, man. Hey, I gotta give Reggie some love on this, man. Y'all clap it up for my dog Reggie.
Now go ahead and read it because he's not lying.
Reggie,
you got cooked.
Oh no! He got cooked, fried, put back in the fryer, flipped it over, taken out, and cooked again.
Oh, what is video?
Lexus, and Butterfly.
Shout out to Reggie for the hundo, man. Reggie, thank you, man. You always been a big supporter, for real, for real. Appreciate that, man. 5-year anniversary was Friday night. 5 years, Street. 5 years. This year 5, man. April 4th. Reggie for the hundo. Appreciate it. Says, damn, coach, how you get cooked on your day off. I rewatched the Midnight Madness, which is called Night Shift. How you let Lexus and Butterfly pull little Timmy. Your player card is revoked. Congrats on the 5 years, but still, it's all about ugly ass Georgia. You're right, Eugene. Ugly ass Georgia. Nah, but shout out to you, Reggie, man. Much love on that, man. Appreciate it. Man, you know what? The ladies came in. You know, I normally don't do panels, but I opened up the link. We just have fun. And I be damn, boy, Lexus came in there and Butterfly came in there. I just got overran, dog.
That's fair.
And I couldn't fight back because she kept saying, Coach, you need to learn how to take a knee. Like, they was busting me about, for real, Georgia versus Miami, because they, you know, Carson Beck came to my, and I ain't have nothing to fight back with, but we got 5 championships and y'all don't.
Street knows he got cooked too. Remember when he took his glasses off and crossed his arms?
Put your glasses back on.
You can cook me anytime, Flaw.
Uh-oh, you about to get banned from ESPN?
Turn the oven on. Turn the stove up. Turn the heat on in here. Cook me anytime.
Nah, they roasted me pretty good, dog. They gave your boy the blues a little bit. But by hour 4, I fought back. By hour 4, I was fighting back. Just know that. By hour 4, I was fighting back. I didn't expect to have to fight for my fight for my life.
You know what's bad when you're getting cooked, though? When you are laughing hysterically because the things they say are actually really funny.
Street, I couldn't fight. Street, there was nothing. I could not fight anything they were saying. Lexus told me. Yeah, Friday night. Lexus told me. She said, Coach, I don't care what you do. Next time if I see you, you better have a grass stain on your knee.
Damn.
Let me see if I can find a piece of it while we up here, since we up here sharing.
And then she it was like, what was her Tina Turner example?
Oh, yeah. She like Miami. Hey, Miami playing Georgia is like, no, was it Miami in the bowl game? No, Syracuse. Miami playing Syracuse was like Ike and Tina in a limousine. Ike beating on her, and she turned and say, "That's all you got?" And then hit him upside the head with the dog on high heels. Yeah, bro. It was ugly.
Hey, you gotta fight back, though. You gotta get you an argument for the
Street.
He tried. I
was trying, bro.
He tried. He was trying. But you know what made it even better though was that they were hitting him at 2 different angles. So it was like Alexis had her thing and she was staying on it, and then Butterfly would be like, yeah, kind of like it was like a perfect storm of like, and then like I said, he started laughing, and once you start laughing, you can't, because it actually is funny. It's just, but Coach A said, y'all know what? I ain't got nothing. I ain't got nothing. So, and where is Nope? What a terrible sidekick. Nope, if you're in here, all that trash you talk in the chat, but yet you go on stage with Hayes and you let him get cooked and you say nothing. You put your head down. You got all that hair. He putting his head down and trying to act like he doesn't hear what they're saying. Like, where was he at?
All right, I'm going to put this over here, Street. Oh, hold on. Let me take this down. I'm going to put this over here, Street. This part of the show from the other night.
Look at Nope.
Just listen to these ladies, though.
Listen, Coach Hayes is a coach. He used to be a coach. He know 10 times about more sports than we do. He just know I'm a woman that's gonna challenge his behind for real. He know that.
I like challenges.
He know me and butterfly people, ladies like us. We know.
Yeah, and I want to catch it. I know my girl. I haven't seen it in a while, but I know my girl really flawed is keeping him checked.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening. I just went to go get some cane juice and I came back and somebody's daughter a wit.
That's who we need on here. We need really flawed.
Coach Hayes can talk football with the best of them. He don't need nobody else. So I know that. I just like.
But wait a minute, isn't she a Texas fan? She's a Texas fan, right? Long fan. See, UConn has beat the boys either. Is Auburn still in it?
Yeah,
so lost control.
Auburn plays.
I lost control, Street.
Houston.
Let's see.
The author, you know who.
Let's see. If it's played.
You know the sad part? Little wobble head.
You better not throw that.
Okay, this is a prime example of what I be talking about. Like when it comes to Miami, I had to be honest. All I can say is we got 5 championships, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing else. Dog. And like.
Yeah, y'all deep stuck in the past.
You got 5 championships, but you run around in Pampers when you got them.
It was the same way to what? To me.
What year did you graduate from high school?
You talking about the championship. You read about it?
That's a
Street. Did you hear what she just said?
Yeah, I heard. Who they team? Who they team?
Georgia. She talking about how you know about them championships. You read about them? Street.
Good one, that's a good one, Lexus.
Yeah, I'm about to be out of high school. Hey, we got our Dirty 30 class reunion this summer. Y'all doing
your school that you need to learn about the Hurricanes.
That's right.
Maybe they won them 5 championships.
I don't know. He got DeSantis. You know, DeSantis taking away Black history there, so he probably won't.
History
Let's talk about the games.
Street, they was killing me, dog.
That was rough right now.
They were just cooking them the whole time.
Street, they was
Hey, wait, that is a viral clip right there, boy. That is a viral clip.
Street, but why are you laughing, Street? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
That is funny. I'm gonna damn that is funny. No, when she said the sentence, I knew where she was gonna go. And I was like, oh,
Street, they was killing me, bro.
All night. And it was so funny though, too. And it was like they kept coming up with other stuff. It was when she said, how do you know? Did you read about it? I was like, damn. Oh my gosh. And then Nope was like, that's all they got. That's all they got. I'm like, you're supposed to be defending Hayes.
I couldn't fight that.
Oh my gosh. That was so funny. Oh, I thought you were going to play.
Well, watch this, Street. Watch this part. Can you hear it?
No, we can't hear it.
Wow, my face hurt.
Hold on, watch this. The Street, it was ugly, dog. It got bad for your boy, Street. Watch this. Let me see.
Oh no, he got DeSantis. You know, DeSantis taking away Black history there, so he probably won't.
History lesson.
Let's talk about the games.
I can't fight back, Coach T. I can't. He talking about fight back, Coach. I can't. I'm getting roasted in my kitchen because I got homies up here and they ain't even helping me, dog. Y'all seeing me get jumped.
Wow, my face hurt. My face hurt.
I'm just, eating my popcorn here. I'm seeing,
Watch this, Street. Watch this.
He's gonna help you in a minute. He trying to get out.
No, not really. I'm not.
Hold on. Look at this geniality jumping in. No, he ain't have on pamper. He had on underoos.
He learned that in history class. Oh, he get an A. Y'all clap for Coach A. He get an A. He remember that from his history lesson.
Well, the last time Georgia was winning, y'all was getting your hair hot in the kitchen.
But we were there, though. We were there. You at home watching us, talking about we
watching
were
that
there.
tape, honey. You watching that tape like a good movie. You just can't stop watching.
Herschel Walker was y'all running back.
Oh, you wish.
Oh, please.
You wish. We done for that been so old. We don't even have that trophy in the case no more. We need to make room for the rest of them.
Damn.
Yeah, we gave it back to him and his wear.
See what I'm saying, Street? I talked about Herschel Walker. Talking about anybody worry about? We gave it. We moved that out the way for the new trophy. We can't even get an ACC trophy in there, dog. What's the last trophy we had since 01? We ain't even got a conference. Well, we got a state championship T-shirt in there.
Hey, I don't feel sorry for you, cause I'm glad he didn't help you, because you sat right there and just like that when Really Flood was on her period and was going off on me. Like you sat right there and you cried the same way. She boogieing us too. Light skin.
You know I be acting light skin. Y'all go check out the anniversary show, man. It started off fun.
It started off fun.
It started off fun for me.
Who is that lady? She's funny.
That's
Lexus in Butterfly.
He called me Whopper Head. Say with your Whopper Head self.
How old do you think they are? Whopper Head is definitely showing their age.
I don't know. You have Black Butterfly on there, and man, I don't know, man. Shout out to the lady. They were whooping me good. They was whooping me good.
Hey, you know what they say? Never send a man to do a job that a woman can do better. Because you haven't gotten cooked by anybody yet. Leave it to the women to step up to the plate. And you know what the best part of it was when they were saying, and we don't even need any notes.
That's true. That's true.
Like, we didn't even need notes. I said, I know that's right. Oh my God.
They was whooping me, dog. They was. They was whooping me, man. But
anyways, what are we talking about?
Matter of fact, real quick.
Street. Oh, go ahead.
I was saying real quick before we go. I know we probably talking about Duke and Florida. They probably get ready to tip this thing off.
No.
Who y'all got winning? I got Houston Cougars. I said Duke, but Florida and Houston. I'm going to Houston Cougars because I don't like nothing in Gainesville. And how ironic is their high school called the Gainesville Hurricanes? Huh? I love that. I love it. But anyway, I'm going for the Houston Cougars because that's what I had on the show the other night. Now, ladies, take that. Cougars. They might be some battle cats. Now take that.
What is happening?
I'm trying to fight back while they're not here.
Okay.
What is going on?
Oh my gosh.
Hey, but when they come back, I'll be quiet again.
I'm gonna talk, but when they come back, I'm gonna be quiet.
They gone. I'm finna talk my trash now, but when they come back, I'll be quiet again. Anyway, man, what y'all want me to know?
I just, by the way, I just did my very strategic Google search to figure out what coach I wanted to cheer for. I'm going for Houston.
Good job.
I like Walter Clayton. I think Walter Clayton deserved it, man. He entertained me this March Madness. I like Walter Clayton, man. He get it done. I think he was like a no-star coming out of high school, like a 2-star or something. The light-skinned player off of Florida.
Oh no, we're not cheering for him. We're going for the other guy, the other coach.
If they from Florida, I don't care. Up that job.
What do I want men to know? If you want me to get dressed up, just say that. If you want your woman to get dressed up, if you want her to look fly, if you need her to, you know what I'm saying? Do something sexy for you, just let her know. Just let her know. Give her a heads up. If it's been a while, if she's having a bad day, you know what I'm saying? Like if you're like, hey, come on, like let's get up, let's go do something. Tell her, let her know. Tell her you want her to get dressed up.
Give me more intel on what you're saying. What are you saying?
Like, let's say it's been like 2 weeks and you just remember that one time y'all were like, we don't want to see you without bonnet, with your hair like not done. You don't get to see her, like dressed up and ready to go somewhere. So if you want that look, let us know. Say something. Hey, babe.
Hell no. I ain't going for it.
Oh, works for me.
I'm finna add light skin right now. You want to know why? Because for some reason.
Can you do your nappy hair? I mean, don't say that. Don't say that.
No, can I say this? For some reason, the men need to always let the woman know what he wants. But the women.
No, I'm saying, no, but if that's something that you want.
No, right. But for the men, we're supposed to know what the women want. But for the man, it's okay to just tell her what you want. But why can't y'all know what we want? When I told you I want it.
I have an answer.
I gave him that answer a long time ago. He don't listen.
I ain't listening. I'm hard-headed.
Kiki gave you the answer too.
Men don't communicate. If you come from a place of non-communication, okay, and you don't communicate, I don't actually know that's what you want because you really don't communicate it with me that you want that thing. It's kind of like if we get in an argument and you ask me what's wrong and I'm like, nothing, and you know something's wrong. And then if you don't ask me again what's wrong, I then look back at you and I'm like, why didn't you ask me again what was wrong? You knew I had a problem. Why didn't you ask me? Have we all been there before?
Yeah, that's a woman special.
Yeah, because men ask the one time, right? And for a man, if I ask you one time and you don't give me an answer, I'm not asking you again. You'll tell me, you'll let me know. But if you know your woman, you're going to ask her, you're going to give her some time, and you're going to circle back. You're going to be like, I know something's wrong.
Hey,
the circle back usually helps.
Put it in the back room, Hayes, because it actually made sense to her, right? You see, she actually made sense to her.
But but here's what we need to understand in the situation, right? If something makes sense to me as a woman, okay, that means that's what makes sense to women. Doesn't mean you have to like it. It just means you have to know that that's how we see it, right? Because that's what we're working on here. Because we've got to communicate better.
But that's it. We always have to see what y'all want, but you want us to tell you what you should do for us.
No. This is a we. We're working together. We're working together.
I can't wait to go. Street, I'm gonna let you go first.
But we're working together. It's not. But I think that's the problem.
Let me into y'all puzzle mind. So when we asked the first time, hey, something wrong, and you say no, right? You say no, right?
That's it.
In your mind, right? You're saying he knows something's wrong, but I'm not going to tell him until the fourth time.
That's a really good question, because I think you're seeing it as I'm intentionally not telling you because I want you to come back and ask me. It has nothing to do with you. It's everything to do with me and just not being ready to actually talk about it yet.
Well, say that then. You talk about terrible
but you can't tell me. You can't. That's not how this goes, because you don't get to tell me how I need to handle something.
So can I ask you a question? I just want to ask this question. You say men are terrible communicators. Okay. But when a man asks you what's wrong.
Did I say that y'all are terrible communicators or that y'all don't communicate? That's not the same thing.
Okay.
That's not the same thing. Okay.
We don't communicate.
Okay.
But in the same breath, we're saying, hey, baby, what's wrong? Nothing. We're supposed to know what you just told us is because you're not ready to talk. And instead of you just saying, you know what, I'd rather not talk about it right now. That would send me back around the loop to ask you later. But if you say nothing, then I take it out. That's what you mean. Why not say, you know what? Hey, right now I just don't want to talk about it. Maybe we could discuss it later. I'll move on, let you have your space and time, and then I'll circle back at some other point in time. But if you tell me no, and then you're expecting me to come back later.
Because he's a smart woman. She understands that. She has to tell us why they don't say all of that.
Because a lot of times the problem is you. And I'm not ready to voice what it is yet, because I also know if I come at you wrong, or if I come at you with the wrong tone, or if I come at you and I don't have it ready to say yet, it's going to come off wrong and we're going to be arguing. So a lot of times it is, I'm actually pissed off that I just told you not to freaking wash the dishes that way, and you wash the dishes that way and there's water all over the place and all da. But in that moment, I don't want to get into it. So I'm going to back out of it and I'm letting it ride until I'm ready to actually communicate effectively. And then I will communicate.
So if he walked up to you and be like, okay, we'll talk when you're ready, kiss you on the forehead and slap you on the ass, would that fix everything?
That's actually not a bad response.
See,
that's actually not a bad response.
You learn. Just stop. They don't know.
They don't.
At all times, we have to be taking the lead because they don't really know.
I don't know. I don't believe that to be true. I think when you're in a relationship with a man, you always are managing his ego.
What?
Because let's say my issue is I don't like that the way that you talk to me in the morning. I'm making this up. I'm just making this up.
Okay.
I have to make sure I say that correctly, because if I don't, I'm going to get the reaction Hayes is giving me right now. I don't want that look. I don't want that reaction. I don't want the puzzled look on your face. I don't want to see the what or the huh? Are you talking about me? No, I didn't. What? I don't want any of that. So to avoid it, I say, no, I'm good. And then we go on.
So
you
so
don't
how-
get right. So then you get the hey, can I talk to you about something? And you're like, oh, what does she want to talk to me about? And then here it comes. And what's happened is we've tried to think of a good way to say it and go through our brain. And so when it comes out, we try to say it very very.
You're not good communicators then, because you can't figure out how to just tell a guy, I'll talk to you later.
But see how you missed the point of the reaction of your face that we actually don't want to deal with?
No, the reaction I gave you was because I'm confused. Here's the perfect example. I can't tell you.
You're always confused.
Yeah, because I can't tell you. No, listen to me. You just told me when I said something, you told me I can't tell you how to respond. But you're mad at me because you gonna tell me how to wash the dishes.
No. I've already told you. You know, you're still choosing to do it how you want to do it.
Because I'm a grown man that washes the dishes.
What is something you usually have an argument about in a relationship?
No, go. I want you to go back to y'all managing our egos. You think what you explained was y'all managing our egos? Explain it.
I think when a woman is mad at her man, most women, obviously, because I won't speak on behalf of all women, most women figure out how they're going to let them know that. So you're not going to get my first reaction, because my first reaction is going to be how you would react, but I don't get to react that way because I have to be calmer. I have to be prepared, ready to go. I have to have my argument because I'm going to be met with a weird face. And what are you talking about? Or what do you mean? I don't do that. Most times, okay? So I have to know whenever I have a conversation, I need to come prepared for the conversation. So I'm going to have the conversation when I'm ready to have the conversation.
See, but that's just it. You don't like the way I talk to you in the morning. So instead of all that, how about let's just not talk in the morning? That solves everybody's problem.
Yeah, that's great. But I think the reality of relationships in life is it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes the bill has to get paid. Sometimes somebody has to go leave for work. Sometimes somebody has to go out of town. Somebody has to go take the kids. Somebody has to go figure out which car we're going to drive. Somebody has to, if it was that easy, great. But it's not always that easy. That's the issue.
What would be a perfect reaction to you saying, I don't like how you talk to me in the morning? Give me the perfect male reaction in your mind.
Just, okay, what do you mean? You see how calm that was?
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
No emotion.
What you just said when I said I don't know what you're talking about.
But you see how he's reacting versus how you're reacting?
No, I'm saying I don't know what you're talking
Do you
about.
know why we react like that? You know why?
Why?
You know why because I think I know how I am. A lot of times in my life, we do so much to make you guys comfortable. Right? A lot of times. Open the door, pick this up, pull that out, jump in it. You want a soda? Run to the store to get the soda. Like, I do a lot of stuff to keep her comfortable, right? Like,
yeah.
And then when you wake up and say, I don't like how you talk to me in the morning, right? The first thing comes in our mind is kind of like,
God damn.
Yeah, how much I do to try to make you comfortable.
That's fair.
You have found something that you don't like.
I'm not a morning person. I don't really like talking in the morning. We got to talk about the kid, but I don't want to have a full-fledged conversation when I wake up about something. Right. But I'm talking about if you know I'm not that. I mean, if you ask me, hey, babe, what car we taking? And we taking the Bentley. I can answer that. But if you say, hey, do you know I did that? It's like, can I wait?
Right, but let's flip that. Let's say something happened at work and she didn't tell you last night because she wasn't ready to talk to you about it. Come to find out, she might think she's going to get fired from her job. She couldn't talk to you about it last night. Whatever, kids, whatever, couldn't sleep, whatever. So she wakes up and now before she goes to work, she's like, listen, there's this thing going on and I didn't know how to tell you last night. So now it's in the morning time. I'm about to go back to this job. I might get fired from this job. Like, this is a terrible situation. I know you don't like talking in the morning, but my point is, she wasn't ready to have that conversation at night. And that's what I'm saying is like different situations call for a little bit of different reaction.
I'll say that's way different because we're talking about a job situation than gossiping or you want to talk because you hate your boss. And I've heard this story.
Can I just say something? Can I just anytime I have a conversation with you guys, I'm never talking about gossiping. Ever. It's always about some real, like, I would never, like, I don't know how else to say that.
Well, I think what he means is just rhetoric. You know how sometimes you see your husband and you just start talking about your day? It was the Walgreens today. They didn't have any paper towels.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, man, I don't want to go to work today because I can't stand Sally. She be doing this.
I think you have to know your relationship, though. That's what I'm saying. It's like every situation is different. Anyways, what about y'all? He said the game's tipped off. So what do y'all have for women?
So listen. Now I'll just say on this. Like, I remember a real life scenario. Like, when we go to the store and my baby wants a Coke, I go get it.
Okay.
Well, I go get it. She sit in the car, feet on the dashboard, fucking being comfortable with it. I go get it. I remember one time I was editing something and we got to the store and I was like, go get it, baby. And she literally looked at me and said, I don't get the sodas. Like, what is he doing? Like, he's trying to be funny. And in that moment, I realized me trying to make her comfortable just became her being, what's the word? When you just expect something and you take it for granted and you know what I'm saying? Like, and I was like, wait a minute.
Expect it. She expects you to go get the soda. Put down what you're doing. Put down.
Get that damn soda. Because I realized that 1,000 times that I went and got that soda, it just turned into a person that was expecting me to go get the soda. It's like, yo, that's what you do. You go get the soda. What are you talking about? And I felt unappreciated. Like, what the fuck?
Did you tell her that you felt unappreciated?
Yeah. No, it was all over my face. I looked at her and I said, if you don't get out this car.
So wait, you didn't tell her, so you didn't communicate that?
He did. He said, if you don't get out this car.
No, he said his face told her.
No, he said, if you don't get out this car.
Oh, you did tell her?
Yeah, because he took it out. I was just like, oh, you trying to be stank? Like, this is one time out of 1,000 times I would have got a soda in the last 10 years. I'm saying, go get the soda. You like, no, my feet on the motherfucking dashboard. Don't go get the sodas in this moment.
And it's not like you didn't have something in your hand doing something. It's not like you were sitting in the chair like, you going to go, I'm going to go. You was in the midst of handling some business.
I was taken back. Like, so me trying to be a gentleman, right? Even though this is something small, right? Me trying to be a gentleman, make life easy on you. This is how you take it. It became like, what you do? You the soda getter.
So street. Did you use your words? Did you tell her I don't feel appreciated?
Sister been entitlement. No, I said it. I didn't. I know. No, I got pissed off and I told her, if you don't get your ass out this car.
And then, like 5 minutes ago, you said that. Isn't that what I said about communication? But it's fine. It's fine.
But she should have read the room.
See now. Oh wait, why does she have to do everything? Why couldn't she just tell her?
That's my, because she could literally see him doing it.
Doesn't work, but it does. That's not how it works, though. We have to communicate. That's not how it works.
No, but I told her, listen, when I do that stuff, I do it to make you comfortable, not for you to become entitled. Like I'm pretty good know he was the butler. Like, that's what people look at me like this. Girl, that nigga go get my soda every time. Watch this. I want a soda. I'm like, what?
You want cherry coke this time?
Well, hopefully, if she knows that bothers you now, she won't do it again.
Just people, man. You learn people and how we act, and it's like, whoa, nothing is never what you.
Because we have to communicate.
Right.
And we have to learn that we all communicate differently. The way I communicate with Hayes is, but the way that I communicated with Hayes is not going to be the way I communicate with you.
She want me to say, hey, you want a soda, baby? You know I go get these sodas because I love you so much.
Maybe she might need that though. She might need that. She might need that.
I don't know, bro.
But Street, how many times have you and I communicated and you've said to me, you don't have to say all that when we're talking, just tell me the thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, my bad. Because with you, I'm communicating differently than I would to somebody else that's like, wait, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna do it? What do you know what I mean? You're just like, what is it? Tell me the thing so that I know, And even the way I would communicate with you was not the same way that I would communicate with Hayes at all. And there's nothing wrong with either one of you. It's just my point is you have to learn that, and I think learning that is okay. That's my point.
Someone asked Rita, when was the last time she got her own soda before that incident?
Shit, 2016, man. Bro, bro, listen, dog.
That really hit you, didn't it?
But I'm gonna tell you what bothered you, Street. If it's been that long, what bothered you was, I think she didn't take into account that you were handling some business, and she should have jumped into action, right? It's not like you pulled up to the gas station and you was sitting there like, or you was on the phone talking to me, yeah, Hayes, yeah, dog. You could have popped out and did that. You were working on something of importance. It probably was time sensitive. And she like, yeah, nah, dog, go get you going to get a soda or what?
I respect that.
And then she kind of flip it against me, like she used it against me, like in later arguments, like when I talk about effort stuff. Like, hey man, the effort stuff that we do, like when people stop doing effort stuff for you, when your girl can't rub your feet, she can't rub your back, just go ahead and pack your bags, dog. It's over. Because that's free stuff. That's how I look at it, bro. Sex is like free, it's effort. If you can't, so this should throw it back in my face and be like, you get my soda was effort stuff. You didn't do it that day.
See that right there? Now, can I tell you, be honest? Well, let me ask this question before I answer that. How many times has she gotten the soda since when y'all pull up?
It's something I do, dog. Like I make
There's
everybody
nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with it.
That's why he's so pissed about it.
You're right. I would
She
love
took
to
it for granted.
But see, right there, when you throw it back in my face, you gonna go get that soda every goddamn time. I promise you.
You
Because
ain't gonna get my
one
stuff. I'm gonna go pack my bags.
and guess what? Don't let the doorknob hit you with a good soda split you. Come on, dog.
What's your case? By the way, Street, that's like your third time telling us about that soda. So I don't know what y'all. I
that shit's fucking nerve. Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's fucking nerve.
No, because but the problem is, but I think your point though is the point of what I always say about relationships. You have the same arguments over and over and over, just different ways. It's the same thing over and over. And when I say relationships, I mean all relationships. Your friendships, your parents, like it's all the same thing because we're humans.
Here's what I want to do right quick.
What you got, Tupac? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, here you go. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. I get around.
As soon as I said that, the bird came flying across the screen.
Trying to tell you. I have visual aid, if y'all don't mind.
Oh, I'm so tired of you and your visual aids.
I know, because sometimes other people can convey what I would like better than me. I love this part.
Every time you play these, our channel gets hit.
No, this is gonna be perfect. Street, please pay attention to this carefully. I need your help with this. And action.
I learned a lot about women. I think I learned exactly how the fall of man occurred in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were in the Garden of Eden, and Adam said one day, "Wow, Eve, here we are at one with nature, at one with God. We'll never age, we'll never die. And all our dreams come true the instant that we have them." And Eve said, "Yeah, it's just not enough, is it?"
No, that's not funny.
I was just waiting for more.
Well, that was kind of his point.
Oh, yo.
That's kind of what he was saying.
I mean,
that proves right now. She still didn't get it. You have everything. Street. You do the one time that you got to edit something on time sensitivity. I need more. And dog, when I say this was the most perfect thing for this segment, it's never enough. You won't age. Not enough.
You know who that girl is?
Melissa Ford. She drive a Honda Accord. Yeah. Oh, but that's the. What do you have to say about that, really, Flo? You were mighty quiet.
I think it's fun. I think that this is going to get me in hot water, but I'm going to say it because I'm courageous. I think that, yeah, a lot of women do want more because what they're getting is not enough.
Prove my point. Yeah.
So I'm fortunate where I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way, but I mean, I think that there is a misconception that people and to be fair, it's not just men. I think that people are in relationships aren't doing enough for each other. I think it's ruining relationships. I think our expectation of what we want out of each other, because we can't communicate it, it's diminishing everything because we cannot talk about what we want on both ends. Men don't talk about what they really want and women don't talk about what they really want. So we can't get on the same page because we're not communicating about it. I mean, I know people in relationships right now that I know for a fact one of the partners aren't happy, but the other partner thinks the partner's very happy. And I'm like, all right. But they're not communicating about it.
Why? Well, no, there's only one that needs to communicate there. It's the one that's not happy.
Because if I think everything is good, what am I communicating?
Right. Well, but what I'm saying is if you're in a relationship and you're married to somebody, both of you are it's supposed to be both of you think. Both of you are supposed to go. So if I have a problem and I'm communicating to you, your actions are supposed to react to me not feeling the way that I'm feeling and vice versa, right? It's like a tennis match. So I'm not feeling a way, you're not feeling a way. Like we're supposed to be communicating about
But
why
that's
I'm
what
not feeling
Steve's
away.
saying, right?
But if I
Based on
tell
that,
you, but if I tell you and you don't do anything, where's your part of your communication back to me?
So the person that's not happy
Is communicating they're not happy.
they have communicated that to that person.
Yeah.
And that other person still thinks everything's great.
Everything, yeah. They don't understand what the issue is.
So,
I mean, they'll figure it out
so
soon enough.
We need to just start telling people. So, Kia, I want to have threesomes on Tuesdays and Thursdays with a Spanish girl named Elisa or Maria, no heavier than 150 pounds.
As long as they bring me sodas.
Yeah.
I'm telling the truth. Hey, threesome. Tuesdays, Thursdays, sometimes Sundays. With a Spanish girl named Elisa. Community. Does that needs to happen in relationship?
I mean, if that's what you want, if you're willing to stand on that, stand on it. I mean, good luck.
Maybe listen, I hear you. I get it. I don't know. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
They are. But yeah, I always say too, with the second I learned the hard way, I had to learn this out of myself, is the second you start blaming somebody else, like, is the second you're losing. Like the second you start keeping a receipt of everything that's not going right and everything that's not this and everything that's not that, like you've lost. And so it's like the second that we can't work together, you know what I mean? Because now I'm keeping my list right. And I'm like, well, on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and then in the morning, and I have this like running tab, then it's like, we're screwed. Because now I can always add something to my running tab.
I believe what Jen's saying right here wholeheartedly. I really do. And
yeah, I think your own. I think what, but I think I agree with that. You're supposed to be happy, but if you're in a relationship, we also have to be doing things that work together. We can't be working on two opposite sides of the spectrum. That can't work.
Will Smith
I can't go spend all the money because it makes me happy. And then you don't have any money because it makes me happy and I'm happy. That we got to work together.
And that's why I'm like, can I say this? I'm sorry, I know I'm the odd guy here. That's why I believe in my account, your account, our account. You can spend everything you want in your account, but when that bitch hits zero, then I guess you're going to be unhappy.
Yeah. No, I think that's fine too. But how do we pay the mortgage? We both live here.
No, it's your account, my account, our account. We're going to put ours together. But if I have enough money, I brought this up before one time. If I have enough money in my account and I want a new car, I'm going to go buy a new car. I shouldn't have to confer with you about buying a new car if I'm paying for it out of my money, not our money, not the house, the mortgage, the kids' savings account. I mean, college. This is my money. Well, you want to go buy red bottoms and Birkin bags and all, go do your thing. But when your account runs zero, don't dip into our account and damn sure don't ask me for mine.
I think that's fair.
Right. But I'm just saying.
I think that's fair.
Of people, but a lot of people believe like, well, if you make big purchases, you should convert. Not if it's my account.
No, big purchases. I think there should be a set dollar amount.
Yeah. What you think, Street?
I think what I think it was. Bro, listen.
What does undecided attention mean?
I'm not saying that you don't have to say that what you're going to do, but what I mean is, I don't think if you have the funds to do it, I don't believe that I need your approval. I don't. If that makes better sense. Like you could be like, "Hey, kid, I'm finna go get a new car tomorrow, man. What color you think your boy should get?"
I think.
What is undecided attention?
The question is, are you trying to achieve something together or aren't you? And I think a lot of people pretend. I think they hide things. I think it's it's like a facade. Like really, Florida just said it. Like it's a lot of unsaid things that goes on in relationships. Are you trying to achieve something or not? That's the question. And a lot of times you just work backwards in a relationship. You're working against each other. Like, they say
you're treading water.
I ain't going 50-50 with no man. We're not roommates. But when you get divorced,
you won't
go for half.
It's 50-50.
And as men, it's almost like we don't verbalize that. Like we can't say that. It's like you don't have on the back end.
That's a good point, actually.
It's an excellent point because they always want more. They always want more.
Women do stuff like that all the time. Listen, it's my body. I don't have to have an abortion. It's my body. You can't tell me what to do. 9 months later, Your Honor, I made this baby by myself.
You know, me and my girls group chat
all the time.
Me and my girls group chat always say, like, if somebody gets pregnant, and if a man decided, I don't want a child, but then the woman still has the child, should the man be responsible for child support when he told you he wasn't interested? So, anyways, it's like literally, I feel like we've been talking about the same thing for 6 years. Like we just always talk about it. We just talk about it like in different ways, but that's kind of like our thing. Because I agree with you. It's like I told you I didn't want this thing. You know what I'm saying? But like, if we go through with this, then what happens on the back end?
It's having some. I don't know if men. How often would men do that, Hayes? How often would you look at your girlfriend and be like, "All right, I got it," right? And y'all break up, and you told her, "I got it," right?
What you mean? I got it. I got what?
Take care of little Sammy. I got it. And then y'all break up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then 6 months later, you at the courthouse talk about, I made this baby by myself, Your Honor. Like,
but can I tell you this? There are a lot of men that I know that are the sole breadwinner and are the primary parent and have never done that. They are proud to be the father to that child, and they're not complaining about doing it by themselves. They're actually happy about doing it by themselves.
I bet you most child support cases are out of spite and not out of need.
Agreed. I agree with that. Because here's the thing, Street. What men know is I'd rather take my kid and not complain about the financial help than complain about the financial help and never see my kid, and the roles reversed. I'd rather shut up and dribble than complain. Because if I say something, the courts could award her custody, and then I'm on child support, and she's gonna complain about visitation. So I'd rather have my shorties in that case. So again, the man hands get tied. But I'd say I know some guys that take care of their kid. I ain't never met the baby mama.
Yeah, it's so funny that, anyways, I feel like me and my girls group, we have like 7 questions that always kind of circulate us because certain people of us try to argue different sides of it, but that's one of them. That's the only appropriate one that I can say online.
What is it, Flaw? Is it principles? Is it lack of pride that you say, I'm not having? You can't make me have an abortion. You should so.
No. So it came up, like I said, this has been happening for like 6 years at this point. So it came up because of a situation when my friends got into, and we were on his, we were like, girl, you're tripping. Like, you're asking for too much, whatever. Like, there's so many things to this story. There's so many nuances. And there's so many nuances that it's somebody else's business publicly that I could never say because it's not my place to say. I think I actually signed an NDA. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But the whole point is we always kind of go back to this, like, who's right, who's wrong. And then once you know a little bit more information, you change your mind. And then once you know a little bit more information, you change your mind. It's just like one of those situations. Do you ever have those situations with your friends where you like, it's the thing that nobody ever agrees on, but you keep talking about it over and over and over? That's kind of where we're at. So
Here's what I'll say about that, Street. I'll just one thing about, and I get the premise of what you're saying. I totally understand it. But I think the whole abortion thing is a personal deal. Like for me,
Oh, okay.
I would never have an abortion. That's just my personal belief. I'm just being honest. I would never tell someone. That's just me.
We're getting deep. This is deep.
No, right. And I'm trying not to go, but I'm just saying I wouldn't. But I totally understand what Street is saying. Is that I'm saying I don't want to have the child. You saying I don't need you, but when the child born, now you want me to be a part financially.
Right.
I always believe it takes two to tango, right? You, if that's the case, you were irresponsible when you went down the tunnel of love, and this is what happened. I just call it like that. So with that being said, I just you understand what I'm saying? Like with that being said, it's just what it is.
I always fall in the era of like, if you don't tell me, like you can't tell somebody else what to do and then not let them tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like we always try to make the rules fit for us and we're not thinking about like the whole situation. So, and now, at this point, my child is 5.
I'm sorry, real quick. Reggie, email it to me. It won't let me copy and paste this link. So Reggie says for $5, coach, play this clip. Well, we might get demonetized, but hey, for the $5, we've done it for less. Email it to me, Reggie. Email it to me because I can't. It won't let me copy and paste the link. So
that's a question we always ask, and then we always say, if money was obsolete, would the world's problems be solved?
No, because then it'll be work ethic. You owe me more hours at this doing this for me. There's always some form of currency. We just call it money, whether it's time, effort, like in relationships, right?
Yeah.
In relationship currency is time.
Yeah.
Relationship currency is time. And so, that's just what it is. So, no, money doesn't solve it, but that's what we use right now to get back at and to hurt people. Right? But you'll never hear me say,
it's power. It's a power source.
You know what, Your Honor? I don't want his money. I want him to come here and sit for 8 hours and look at me. No, because that don't hurt him. You know what I'm saying? I want to hurt his pocket. Real quick, Reggie, for the $5. We finna play this clip, Lord.
Why don't you watch it before we play?
I did.
Oh, okay.
The other day that's been playing over and over in my head. A young man asked the older gentleman, "What's the one thing that you wish more women understood about how men operate?" He sat there for a second, and then he said, "There's 10,000 more things going on inside a man's head than you'd ever imagine." He said, "He's carrying burdens you don't see. He's trying to figure out how to solve problems, how to make sure everyone is okay. And most of the time, he doesn't know how to express it. He's afraid that if he says something, he'll be shot down or made to feel weak." I saw a video the other day that
ego. Play that again.
Melissa Ford.
The thing I said I was trying to manage at the end. Play it one more time.
I will, but I will say this. We actually brought this up before on the show. We talked about that.
Yep.
Men are carrying so much.
So then let me ask. Okay.
I want me to play it. I'll play it again for those that missed it.
That's been playing over and over in my head. A young man asked the older gentleman, "What's the one thing that you wish more women understood about how men operate?" He sat there for a second, and then he said, "There's 10,000 more things going on inside a man's head than you'd ever imagine." He said, "He's carrying burdens you don't see. He's trying to figure out how to solve problems, how to make sure everyone is okay. And most of the time, he doesn't know how to express it. He's afraid that if he says something, he'll be shot down or made to feel weak." I saw a video the other day that's been playing over.
So then can I ask a question? And I'm trying to say this the right way so that I don't trigger anyone. Okay. I'm the woman on the panel. I'm totally aware. Whenever he says he doesn't want to be made to feel weak, what is that? Like what I know how I'm hearing it. How would you explain that to me? Like, what does he mean by made to feel weak?
I'll give you my answer. First of all, is he doesn't have a solution, right? He doesn't have a solution to a problem. He can't figure out an answer, right? And he doesn't know, right? Because men typically are problem solvers, just like he was saying. I'm here to solve problems. When like remember I said this saying, if you don't want to solve problems, don't put your feet on the floor in the morning. That's how we think. That's how I think. I stay in the bed. Ain't no problems happening in the bed. But when I put my feet on the floor, it's time to solve problems. In essence, it's figure of speech. Not literal. So we got echo history. So I'm saying that to say what that means is if he doesn't have an answer, you as his lady, or he goes to you and say, baby, I don't know how to pay the rent this month, the mortgage. I don't have enough to send the kids on the field trip. I don't, blah, blah, blah. You are looked at as the provider in essence, and now you can't provide. So if you can't provide, now that means you are weak. And that's how the
perception. That's how you take it.
That's the perception.
Street, do you agree with that?
I mean, a simple way to say it is nobody wants to hear a man complain.
True story.
There's no place for that. Like, there's no place for a man complaining.
So if you do complain, that is being weak? Is that what you're saying?
A sign of weakness, or it could be interpreted as weakness.
Yeah, nobody wants, like, who does a man go to talk to complain, talk about his problem? Boy, I gotta pay taxes this week, gotta pay child support, gotta pay. That's a lot. You know what they say to men? Should have had a baby. Should have put on the rubber. That's what people say to our problems.
Or suck it up, right? Just like when little boys cry. Shut up crying. You a boy. Yeah. It's the same thing when you're trying to solve issues.
I guess I'm just trying to understand the weak.
For example, here's a perfect example.
It's simple, really, Fly. If a man start opening up to you too much, right? If he starts opening up to you too much, right? To women, it starts becoming like, damn, period on us. Like, what's wrong with him? Like, men don't.
He always complains.
Who taught you that?
Lord, I'm telling you.
Listen, y'all actually have a saying called real men. Real men do this. Real men do that. There's all the time. Like, what do you mean a real man? Like, we don't come around talking women fake women. You could not bear kids, and we wouldn't say that's a fake woman. She can't even bear a kid. But it's society. It's kind of society. Like, what does a real man do? A real man don't cry. A real man don't go half. A real man don't. And you get caught up in these things.
I'm starting to. You know what?
But y'all have to listen, Claude. All you can do is listen, because we're telling this story.
No. Right? I'm listening. It's not that I'm not listening. I hear you. I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm also acknowledging what you're saying. And I actually think you're probably 100% right. And when I say probably, it's because I'm not a man, so I can't say you're 100% right. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, if I was telling you about how a period feels, you'd probably be like, yeah, that's probably how it feels, Flop. You're probably right. Like, whatever, right? So I agree I'm not saying I don't agree with you when I say probably. So you are telling me how you experience it, what you go through. I'm not taking that away, period, right? That's that. I agree with you. You got that. Cool. I guess where I'm coming in as the person that's supposed to be supportive, or the person that's supposed to be loving and all the things, right? If you're telling me that no matter what I do, no matter how supportive and how I never judge you for crying or needing help or needing support or feeling weak or whatever, right? If you've never gotten that, I don't see it's coming from somewhere else. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it does. Yeah. It's society, right?
But let me say this. No, but I do want to say this part. So earlier, Flaw, when you said you came in, you didn't want to talk, so you just say no. If a man does that, and then you come back later and says that, and he come back and say, yeah, I'm upset about X, Y, and Z. You know how many, a lot of women be like, man, that's a bitch move. But for a woman, it's because you weren't prepared to talk right then. You want to get your thoughts together and get all that stuff, and then I'll come back and talk about it. But if a man be like, nah, I don't want to talk right now, and then he come back, right, and say, you know what, Flaw, I don't like the way you did such and such, and you just say you're responsible, but you told me there wasn't nothing wrong. In your mind, and I'm saying yours, I'm speaking generally here.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, dog, that's a bitch move. Yeah, like a bitch right now. Only women do that kind of shit. I'm just saying to you.
Interesting.
Okay.
Okay.
There are certain things we joked earlier, right? I see how that could be frustrating. Right? Imagine if for example, you want a guy to say when you come in and had a rough day, baby, I see how that could be frustrating. Remember, we joked about that.
Yeah.
But imagine on the men, flip it around to the man. And he come in and he like, man, I'm at work today, man, and I need to get this. And you like, yeah, baby, I see how that could be frustrating.
People don't have that experience. Interesting.
It shows that sign of weakness because you don't have answers, you don't have solutions, you haven't figured it out. And back to what Street was talking about, real men do this, real men do that, real men boo boo boo. But like you said, because you can't have a kid, don't mean you're not a real woman. I
need to call my dad and tell him thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I first of all, I don't think I've ever told a man he's acting like a bitch ever. Whenever he's come to me with something, I don't go through life experiencing some of the things that you all are. Even in my relationships that didn't make it, even in the people that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, I kind of feel like I'm learning here because I haven't had these experiences. And I'm not, and I feel like as I'm sitting here, there's people that will often tell me issues and concerns and things they're having, and it comes from men. And that's why I'm like, for me, like I have men that tell me stuff all the time.
But they're not in a relationship. But they're not in a relationship with you. They're looking for it. But just like we talking, right? We're not here to impress.
I'm talking about when I have been in relationships. Like I haven't had this. What y'all are saying, I honestly haven't had this experience. But I think it's because I was raised by a man who set a different standard. And so I think my experience and like the men I attract, because like I dealt with my knucklehead, but most of the men that I attracted were men that I was like, listen, like we got to communicate, we got to talk. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, but you have to remember, so you're taking you, right? I always say don't make the exception the rule, right?
No,
so
but that's why I'm asking questions.
No,
I'm trying to learn.
So I'm saying, so think of it outside of the really flawed brain then. Think of it from the masses, from that standpoint.
But that's like you telling me to think about what it would be like to be a Miami Hurricanes fan and not have won any championships of any kind from 2001. I don't have that experience. So how do I?
You do have that experience. It was
won.
No, but it was prior to the last championship y'all won before Mac.
Yeah, but we've won like Big 12. But we won we were winning like Big 12 championships and stuff since then.
I get it. I told, and that's it. So to your point, and with that being said,
see, and that's I think. Well, let me read the chat.
I got you. So I say all that to say,
type of women. Yeah, see, what type of women these men be dealing with. See, okay, so it's not just me.
No, I don't think it's the women. I think it's men. I think it's us and how we're raised, not to cry, not to and I you know what I'm saying? So I think it's us. This is y'all remember this? This is the Miami-Dade police.
I thought that was Randy Shannon at first, dog, when I glanced at it.
Right? This is the chief, Robert Parker. His chief, Robert Parker.
Can somebody give us the score update to the football or to the basketball game, please? Anyways, go ahead.
Who committed suicide? My girlfriend is Kia Parker. This is her uncle, right?
Mm.
She just went to see her dad tonight, which is his brother, right? He was the chief of police for Miami forever. Committed suicide, right?
Wow.
When she explains who he was, her dad, who's still alive, are the most unemotional people I've ever met in my life, right? Like, no emotions. If you call them for help, they got you. She always explained him like, hey, we could call our uncle for anything.
Yeah.
And he has. Right? You know what I'm saying? Anything. And he had an answer for it. Whether it's money, he had you. He was there for everybody. But I remember sitting in the car with her when she got the phone call and she looked at me and said, they said they found my uncle dead. Like, by suicide. And you ask yourself, like, how does somebody that strong, right? Like, how does somebody that strong just go out in silence like that? And it's because of what we're talking about, right? Like, as men, sometimes we want everybody to be comfortable around us and we don't want to inconvenience anybody. To the point where you're just, yeah.
I think so.
It's almost like therapy.
Let me change my question. I was just gonna say, let me. So, do you all think that if women knew what it was really like to be a man, if I'm saying that right, or no, not what it's like to be a man, the things and thoughts and feelings that men experience, do you think it would help? Do you think it would help just the way that we see men, right? Because people always say to me, oh God, you're always defending men. You're always defending men. And I'm like, it's not that I'm defending them. It's just, if we know certain things, we have to do a better job communicating it, right? So like, for example, if I know I'm better at communicating something than you're better at communicating something, if I know that, it's my job to make sure I'm communicating the thing that can help you, right? And so you kind of have to know your positionality with things. So I'm starting to wonder, is it I say this, I feel like every week, but is it just like a total myth of like understanding and communicating of like what we need? Because it seems like we're just missing it. Does that make sense?
Really, Flaw, you were raised, I'm gonna keep going back to this. You were raised by your dad.
That's why but I think I'm a good person to be able to say, okay, I don't have this experience and I understand this in a way, right? Because I have that. So therefore I'm bringing in a different lens of saying, honestly, yes, girl, he might be tripping. Okay. He might be. However, hear me out for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Women, see, that's the women part of you don't have. They're not trying to be logical. They're trying to be supportive in one unit. Yeah, girl, you're right. See, the logical side of you is you being raised by your dad, right?
Okay.
So you kind of have problem solving in you when they're just kind of like,
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you do it.
So it's that little thing right there where I say, hold on a second. Maybe.
No. Kick out the slumber party.
I see what you're saying. Okay. No, that makes sense.
We can't hurt anybody else's feelings. It's our feelings. You know what I'm saying? That matters.
It's just kind of interesting when you look at it from like, because I feel like I'm looking at it like zoomed out, right? Like I'm kind of zooming out and hearing what you both are saying. And because I haven't experienced it, I'm trying to quantify it, or I'm trying to like make it make sense. And if I were you, I would feel the same. Like I would feel like, what? What do you mean? Like you have an issue that I have an issue. Huh. Interesting.
I mean, listen, it's rap music society. I don't know, but there's a demographic of women out here that literally thinks that men are ATMs. Like a man's emotions is far from your thought process. Like they literally think that you met me, you said hi, you're gonna pay for something today now. Right. And don't see themselves as broke or beggars or leeches. They don't see themselves as that.
Yeah. That's just like the young lady that was on Shannon Sharp talking about you got to make. Who was it said you got to make at least $5 million just to date her?
Yeah, she's an idiot.
I forgot who. I don't know who that is, but you know.
Pull up what Jen said. Pull up what Jen said.
Ruby Rose.
Girl, Amber Rose.
No, Ruby Rose.
I agree with what Jen. Yeah, I agree with what Jen is saying, but I think that I don't think everybody's willing to associate themselves. I think you have to first associate yourself with a man or a woman or wherever you fit. And then I think the next step is figuring out what happened culturally, generationally. But if you don't have a stand, like if you don't know where you stand on it or how you feel about it, I think it's hard for you to look at your cultural background. Because I think society tells us more than cultural does, unfortunately.
Let's see. Let me real quick. Geniality says it's a problem to measure strength as a lack of emotion. Maybe I missed that. I'm not sure.
It's a problem to measure strength
as a lack of emotion.
Well, when I said that her dad, his brother, emotionless. Like they don't react. I never saw him mad. I never heard him get loud. He's 80 years old and he looks like he's 50. And I'm like, boy, whatever that is, he got it right to me. But I think she's saying that the strength part was the fact that anybody in the family could go to him. That's the strength part. Like it was like they knew they could go. And
well, here's the deal too. And then here's the deal too. Right, but here's the deal too.
He's a man in the family.
Right, and in the streets, right? But here's the deal.
Right.
Here's the deal. But here's the deal with that. The lack of emotion and jumping into action is what is considered strength. Here's a perfect example. We were doing a show, Street. Your house caught fire. Daryl! You didn't say, oh my God, a fire. You jumped up out the chair and ran into action. Right? Like backdraft.
That's
right.
That's fair.
Right.
She was there. Daryl! You on the show with me live. You don't know what's going on. You don't know if it's a dude broke in the house on fire, it's a snake in there, she fell, broke her leg, but you sprang into action and you are ready to solve a problem that you didn't even occur. And she didn't say, Daryl, the house on fire, bring the fire extinguisher. When she screamed, you came. You didn't know what you were going into.
Right.
That's the point right there. You didn't, you had no information. I didn't even know. I'm like, all I heard was, Daryl, you jumped out the chair.
And you look at her face, and in that moment, it doesn't have to be communicated. The thought is, if somebody has to die tonight, it's me. And that's being a man. And that's what we walk around with. When y'all talking about we can't have none tonight, your head hurt. That's what we walk around. I looked in her face and I was like, if somebody has to die, it's gonna be me. Because she's not equipped for this. Like she just called me and it's probably like, you know what I'm saying? But
so here's the thing. Watch this. Let's flip it. Let's say she was on the show, and I'm using Kia. I know she got the heart and the skin for this. Let's say you were in there cooking, and she was on the show, and you yelled out, Kia! And she come running in, and she come back on the show, right? Man, Daryl's in there crying about a little grease fire. Sound like weakness.
Yeah, that's some whole shit.
But can I ask, what's wrong with the weakness thing? What if you're weak?
But that's it. Though.
What if you are weak for a day, for an hour, for 3 weeks?
That's just it. Because here's another thing, and Flaw, you got to take this in a general statement, meaning, and for anybody else listening, the soda got thrown back in my dog face. So you want to think a weakness will be thrown back in your face? I'm telling you, it's coming. It may not be tomorrow. It may be a week. It may be 6 months from now. But that moment will be used right at a moment of anger and emotion. That's going to conjure itself back up and be thrown back at you as a way to hurt you.
And then what? Like, why is that? Right, but why? I don't understand why that's.
I don't know. I can't speak for women why they. I mean, men do it too, but I can't.
No, I'm saying, but why, if it's thrown back in your face, why is it okay? So then what? Like, I don't understand why that is. That the worst thing in the world?
Yeah, we're men. We're not supposed to be. Oh, it's the same thing. Like, okay, let me give you one for women. We're men. We're not supposed to be like weak. Like we. You know what I'm saying? It's something that bothers us. I guess it's like saying, "Hey, your edge is missing." Yeah, your edge is supposed to be there. It's embarrassing when you're not having the edge. Like,
sometimes you affirm, okay, and they're missing.
Right. Like it's like one of them things where it's like you not being able to bear kids. Men, we don't look at it like, oh my God, that's the worst thing in the world. But women look at it like what?
No, but think about it. Imagine if you couldn't have. No, but real quick.
If you want them, it's a.
No, but
it's
to your point. No, but to your point. Imagine you couldn't have a kid, and at your moment, he goes and throw that in your face, in an emotional when y'all getting into it, and he throws that in your face.
Which it happens.
I know. I'm not saying it doesn't, but what I'm saying is
right. But I guess my problem is okay. We all agree it happens. I think we're all on the same page there. Of course. I think where we part ways is where I'm saying, okay, like to me, that's not like I can think of probably 10 worse things, but it sounds like you all are saying, no, that's the worst thing. Is that right?
That women can't bear kids?
No. She's talking about throwing things back in your face. No, it's not. That's not just the worst thing.
That's not. No, we're not talking about.
I think it's the equivalent to a woman that can't bear kids. No. That's watching her friends bear kids, watching his new girlfriend bear kids, and it's like we don't know what that feeling is, right?
That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about we're just talking about once the weakness, right? So we've all agreed with the weakness thing being a thing, right? What I'm saying is on a scale of like the worst thing that can possibly happen to this isn't that bad, we'll move on. Where does that fit on the scale of things? When it throwing back in your face, where does that fit? Is that like the worst thing that can happen? Or is that one of those things where it's like just enough to where I never want to talk to you again?
No, that depends on what it is. We like, for example, for her throwing a soda back in his face, that's on the bottom of the fucking scale. But if there was a moment that he was, that there was something that was more, let's say he lost his job or whatever the case may be. The throwing of the face is not where it falls on the scale. It's what you're throwing what makes
the what. Okay.
It's not the throwing in your face. It's what you're throwing back. Like if she throw a soda back, whatever. But if you're throwing back where there was a moment of weakness where I may have lost my job or whatever the case may be. And I think the biggest thing is what people have to understand is that this is a constant battle everywhere for men. It's in the workplace, right? It's at home. It's anything you're dealing with. Because believe this or not, it's like being in the jungle. You're constantly being challenged for your spot. Like you are. Like when you're at work, you got other men that you're battling to jockey for a position at a job. If you're an ambitious person. Now, if you're just a dude that's sitting in a cubicle and you cool with that in life, then God bless you. But I'm not built that way. But you're constantly fighting to be the alpha dog or the king of the lion in his pride, because that's what you're doing. And then now you come home and you having that same, like I said, I don't mind disagreeing, but I'm not going to fight at home. I do that all day for a living. I shouldn't have to fight at home. Now we disagree, that's one thing. But when I walk in the house, I shouldn't have to be prepared for, all right, my 8th battle for the day. Fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not bad. I don't mind.
130 pounds, especially not somebody 130 pounds that all they can do is talk.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to come home and argue and battle with your ass too. Just like you shouldn't have to come home and battle with me. We could disagree. That's life.
Think about your dad, right? You talk about your dad a lot. How many times have you ever seen your dad vulnerable?
A lot. That's why I'm saying I don't have. That's a lot. Oh, and I've known.
And that's good.
And that was when I was a kid. I was a kid. I was a kid, and obviously now I'm an adult. But like I can recount plenty of times where I was just kind of like, what's going on? Like, what's wrong?
Has it ever been thrown in his face? Not to be too personal, but I'm gonna ask a question. Has it been thrown in his face?
I mean, obviously not by me. But
And the reason I can say so if that's a maybe, if you haven't seen it, probably very seldom have.
Yeah.
That's why he can't. That's why he can be then.
Yeah.
I guarantee if it was thrown back, maybe mom threw it back or whatever the case may be, he would stop doing it because that shit already hurt.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
And that's the thing. And that's why I always say, like, and let's be honest, that's why I like having these conversations on Monday nights, because I feel like it's just like gaining a different perspective.
Just as he's going to become simple.
Yeah. Of what you see. But that's one of those things too, where that's why it's like, I know I've heard that cry. I've seen that struggle. I've seen the pain. I've seen the vulnerability. I've seen the agony. I've seen I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah. Like, I mean, there were times where he would be like, listen, y'all, like, the lights might get turned off on Wednesday. Okay. They might get turned off on Wednesday, but we gonna get them back on Friday. Okay. But if they get turned off, like, here's some, like, I mean, that.
And imagine if your mom was be like, your dad's a loser. He can't even keep the lights on. You know what he would stop doing? I'm saying, you know what he would stop doing? He would stop telling y'all. And when the lights go up, then he'll start lying.
But honestly,
a blackout in the neighborhood.
But honestly, that's not true, because we always had his back.
Your mom was there?
Yeah. I mean, they had to figure something out. Like, somebody had to take another job. Somebody, like,
you would hear this from your dad? You would hear this from your dad? Or you was eavesdrop? You would hear this? Your dad was actually...
I distinctively remember, so this is kind of like childhood trauma, but I distinctively remember when I was 13, our house flooded. And where the house flooded, in the one spot where there were like all of our like family photos and all the stuff, all like the photo albums were getting ruined, but the house was flooding and we were kids. Like, we didn't know what to do. And so I remember when my dad came home, my dad got there first and he was like, what happened? And we were like, I don't know. It just started the toilet, whatever. Right. We were like, it just started flooding. Then my mom got home and we were like, what are we going to do? Because all of our pictures were ruined. All like furniture was ruined and we couldn't afford to get new stuff. I'll never forget this. That night we stayed up, we lifted up all the carpet. It was wet. We couldn't afford to have somebody come out and fix it. So we got out of the carpet. Our hands hurt, all the stuff. And then that night, like, we sat down and my parents were like, listen, because this happened, like, we're going to have to think about some things. Like, so we're going to have to do sandwiches. My point is my parent, like, it's kind of weird I'm saying this because I didn't feel this way growing up. My parents talked to us more than I thought they did. And I thought that was everybody's experience. So as an adult, I'm realizing that was real, like that was real stuff that was happening. And so for me, like now as an adult, some of the things that happened to me when they were a kid, like didn't happen to me as an adult, but I can now relate to when people are telling me stories. I'm like, yeah, I know what that feels like.
I mean,
yeah.
That is very unique because usually it's embarrassment that goes with that. The kids never hear or never know why. But you know what? Then sometimes when you ask ChatGPT questions,
yeah.
Why do people always do this? So why ChatGPT always says back, be careful with generalizing everybody. And what really Florida just proves is that we always say, oh, black women like this, Spanish women like that, or men don't do this. And she just explained like just a totally unique childhood.
But she's the exception, not the rule.
Right.
Right.
Well, and it's because and it's because my parents my parents were
communicated.
I think it's because my parents were raised differently than they raised us. And we're echoing street. My dad was more present than my mom, which is also kind of rare, but they were raised to not know anything. So they didn't know anything about anything. And so both of my parents were like, no, we're going to tell y'all. I mean, I remember we used to have field trips and my mom was like, $20 for both of you. Y'all go figure it out. Like we had $20, like, and we weren't getting any more money. That's what you had. And anyways, I guess my point in saying this is like, I've seen, I mean, we knew when dad's payday was, we knew everything.
But see, but again, you're the exception and not the rule.
Yeah.
And that's when we have a lot of conversations. Now, again, we speaking in general here. The reason you can talk in general because the masses fit within that bell curve of stuff, right?
True. That's true.
And that's what happens. So when a lot of times when we're talking and having these open conversations, you're speaking to the people in the middle of the bell curve. You're not speaking to one end or the other. You're speaking to the 98% in the middle, right?
Yeah, right.
And there's the problem. So even when we have sport conversations, this, that, and the third, right?
Yep.
Like, I'll tell you this. I give my mama credit. I ain't never had the lights cut off. Never. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm just saying I've never experienced that. But I know what it is to have the lights cut off. I know what it is not to have the water cut off. You know, whatever. But it wasn't due to lack of payment. And everybody has their own reason. So I give my old girl nothing but love and support. Like, but I was never a me kid. I never had to have the latest Jordans and this, that, and the other. My mom would try to beg me. You need to go shop. You need to get this. I'm like, no, Mom. Because in my mind, watch this. And my father passed when I was 3. I always wanted to take care of my mama.
Yeah, that's different.
She never. I couldn't say, Mom, I want to go on the field trip. Well, we don't have. Never. There was never a time. Hey, we talking about rich, but there's never a time that money was an object of lunch money or this or that or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
I remember my mama didn't even have cash one time. She wrote a check. Take that to the school. Because she just didn't have the cash.
Right.
It wasn't that she didn't have the money. You know what I'm saying? But I say all that to say my mentality was I want to take care of her. I saw how hard she worked. I know where they came from out of the fields of Georgia, milking cows, hanging onions, rounding up horses.
Mm-hmm.
I know what all that was. So I always want to take care of her. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I didn't want to be the kid that, Mama, I need the latest Jordans to keep up with the Joneses. I ain't a damn about them people. But again, I think I'm the exception and not the rule.
Yep.
Right? I'm on the other side of the bell curve where I didn't have that problem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now some people will say, "Oh, well, hey, you bougie." No, man, my mama paid the bills.
You just you just didn't have that. And that's the thing too. And it's like when you come from a family, right? Then every child has a different experience with what's happening. You know what I mean? Like for me, it was helpful because I leaned into it and I was like, oh, okay, this is what's happening. Okay, noted. That makes sense to me. Obviously, I got older and I started realizing what budgeting and finances and all the stuff was because that's how it made me. But then I have brothers and sisters that necessarily didn't take that from it. So I feel like it really depends on, and that's part of being like, and like I always say, and it took me a long time to get here. Your parents are literally doing what they think is best. They're doing what they think is best. And then when you get to become an adult, you get to decide, was that good enough for you? And if it wasn't, you go to therapy or you work through it or you change, you know what I mean? Or you change it or you do whatever. But it's like, yeah. I mean, and the thing is too, is I'm sure there's other 1,000 things that he never told us. You know what I mean? Like he only told us the things that I think that he thought were impacting us immediately. They were going to impact the house. They were impacting the house. We knew about it, but who knows how many things, like you said, at work or, you know what I mean? Like what other things, but we just knew. And that was what and he still says this to this day. If it impacts this house, if it impacts this family, we're going to know about it because we know about it.
Well, because, and to your point, right. And I've always taken this from my mom. She always used to say this. She said, son, let me tell you something. You're going to pay. You're going to pay now or you're going to pay later, but you are going to pay. Right. She said that. She said, I remember coming up, her friends want to go to Big Daddy's and to the Frontier and all this, right? Mm-hmm. To the clubs. I could have done that, but then who raises you?
Right.
I'm going to send you down the street to Miss Mary. Who knows what's going on in that house? Right? So guess what? They didn't pay then. They paying now because now they kids jumping in and out of jail. Right? because some lady down the street raised them because you want to go here, right? Vice versa. You don't take care of your finances now, you're going to pay later. So when you got that paycheck for them 30 years straight from wherever you work and you went out in club, you on your third mortgage on your house.
It's true.
Because you didn't financially take care of it.
Yeah.
You're going to pay somewhere. So she said, you rather pay in the front end. Yeah, you may not have as much fun as everybody else, but you ain't working till your ass 90 years old and die. So and again, I don't blame anybody for doing what they do. It's your life. You have to make your own decisions.
Yep.
But that is something I would have taken from her because it only made sense. And I would see people, right? I see people and I'm watching and I'm like, yep, they paying now.
That's why
They're paying now.
That's how I feel. That's why
my mama right now being retired. She got friends still working.
That's what somebody, one of my best friends, like a few weeks ago was like, you're so content. How are you so? And I'm like, girl, like I'm already like, listen, okay, I've served my time, right? Like I've been through all of those things. Like,
like credit. Like I listen, like credit.
Yeah, you had to. I learned it the hard way, but I learned it.
But she was the first one that taught me this.
Yeah.
And believe this or not, I wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things that I've done if I'd have went to the mall and got that credit card from Bird Eyes. If I'd have went to
Macy's. The parents. Give the parents a round of applause. Hit the button. Oh.
Man, you clap it up for those.
The parents out here. Even the ones trying. Listen, and I always say, there's not a perfect parent, right? Even the perfect parents get it wrong, and even the wrong parents get it right. I just think as humans, it's up to us to realize what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and pivot. And if your parents tried their hardest and it wasn't good, they're trying their hardest. And the hardest lesson for me to learn, and I learned this in therapy, is if you think you had it bad, think about the things that were happening to your parents that made you have it bad. What did they experience that they didn't know how to go through it right, or they didn't know how to do? And so when I started asking my parents about their childhood, I was like, oh, okay. A lot of this makes sense. Like
a lot of it.
Oh, okay. So like just show your parents some grace.
Yeah.
Like, and there's some things I get it, right? There's always extremes of the things that maybe you don't show grace for. I'm not here to, I'm just saying, most times, most parents are doing their best. They're trying. And they're showing up. So, but if you ain't shit, then I don't have nothing for you.
No, 100%. I tell people that all the time. Like this stuff is not easy. And, you're born into who you're born to and all of that great stuff. And I understand that. But at the end of the day, it is an individual choice at the end of the day. I tell people all the time, you got two kids raised in the same house, might be just a year apart, and one goes left and one goes right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Seriously. All the way left.
Yeah. One goes left and one goes right. And it is what it is.
Yeah.
So,
anyways.
So those are the type of things I'm trying to see.
Sorry, audience, you come for sports, you get being raised.
Life happens. And it happened real quick.
Hayes been talking about all type of shit. We never talked about just football.
Yeah. Real quick. I think I've shown this to y'all before, but
by the way, shout out to my dad if you're listening and you never comment and tell me you're listening.
What's up, Dad? Shout out to you. What'd you say, incoming streak?
No, I ain't say incoming.
I know I did. Watch this. I want y'all to hear this. I think I shared this with y'all before. Watch this.
Oh.
What's up, everybody? Hey, at Coach Hayes Football again. I just want to simply say, I'm up here in Georgia doing a little bit of hunting and stuff out here on the family property. But again, I do want to make some people aware of some things. This building right here was a building that educated my mother and educated her brothers and sisters. And they all became successful people because they didn't make excuses for the things that they didn't have. Instead, they made the best of the things that they did have. I mean, they became principals. We have teachers. We have people that worked for the Navy. We have people that did all types of jobs and became successful, raised great families, became great mothers, became great fathers, great grandmothers, became great grandfathers. I mean, this is what it's all about, guys. So again, let's stop complaining about the things that we don't have and appreciating the things that we do have and make the best of it.
Bro, ain't a bathroom in there. That's where they went to school. That's where they went to school, bro. And we got people that got parents that went to school with an air conditioner. When my mama had the iron, literally it was an iron that you stuck in the fire with a wood burning stove. You like, so when people say, oh, you know, and again, you know, I get it. But, oh, my bad, y'all. Cut y'all off. But at the end of the day, that's that country living right there. And my grandfather built that because they wouldn't build schools for us. My grandfather and some other men in the community built that school so the kids could go to school. That's what I'm telling you. You gotta, at the end of the day, it's about decisions, y'all. That's it. At the end of the day.
That's facts.
That's it.
Decisions you make today will show up later.
Back to that, you pay now, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay, dog. I learned that the hard, but you are going to pay. Appreciate you, Miss Geniality. But you're gonna pay, like, and that's why, you know, sometimes people be like, oh, you don't live life now, hey, you don't, because what I realize is, bro, when I retire, and I ain't helping no kid cross the street, I ain't working at the library, I ain't going to Walmart, I ain't doing none of that shit. I'm finna live life, dog. I'm not finna work till you put me in that box, be singing them sad songs. Hell no. And you up there lying to me how much you love me. You know y'all ain't love old coat. Y'all call me a hater. Nah, I'm just messing around. But y'all, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think the thing too is what is that saying? The decisions you make today determine the decisions you get to make tomorrow.
That's
something
right.
like that. But
the
decisions you make today get to determine the decisions you get to make tomorrow.
Right.
I think it's like that.
Yeah, you're gonna make wrong decisions. That's life.
Yeah.
That part is life.
Yeah.
But
I think too, it's like a reminder. Yeah. I mean, I remember there was a party I went to. Of course, I was told not to go to it. And I still went, of course. And then the party got busted. And at the time, I was trying to get a scholarship. And I'll never forget, my dad was like, how did that work out for you? Are you willing to sacrifice everything for that to happen again? And I was like, why is he being so dramatic? Like, why is he being so dramatic? And obviously as an adult, I'm like, because like he needed to be, but same, you know, like you just think like, oh, I'm just going to get this thing. He's like, those kids are not like you. You have to figure that out. I can't tell you any different. Mm-hmm. Like they don't have the same goals you have. Like, I don't know what else to tell you.
And the hard thing is, as a kid, you don't get that. You want to have fun.
Yeah,
no, you want to have fun. Yeah. I get it. I totally understand that.
Yeah.
Like you want to have fun. Everybody want to be the dude where the mama let them hang out till 1 and 2 in the morning.
Yeah. And everybody's path isn't your path. Everybody, you don't, you know, like you have to make decisions. I mean, we can even say though about like YouTube. You know, like, what are you going to do? What kind of channel do you want to be? How are you going to make decisions? What are you going to post? What are you going to say? You know, like, I feel like we're always making decisions. And just because you made a certain decision, that decision works for you and what you're trying to do and where you're trying to get to. But that might not be for everybody. And that's okay. Mm-hmm. But anyways, what do you think, Street? You've been awfully quiet for the past 29 minutes. I'm not
Game update. Game update.
What?
You're doing such a great job.
Oh, he's like, I'm done with y'all.
Yeah, the game update. We got 231 people in the building. We appreciate y'all. This is Hayes Street, where right there below me, you might see some felonious activities, or you might see the Boy Scout of the Year, like the guy pushing the wheelchair right there, all in the same frame. So with that being said, help us out. And let's support each other by hitting the like, share, and subscribe button on all 3 of our channels, Coach A's Football, Really Flawed, and Footballville, because this is what we do. You never know what you're going to get. We started talking about Florida and Houston, and we might still be on here by the time the game over. Hell, who knows? But what I do know,
Florida 30, U of H 34. And that must be the second half. Oh, I didn't even see the baby on his back.
Who got a baby on his back?
She said with the baby on his back.
Who got a baby?
I don't know. I must have missed it.
A lot of mercy.
We missed it. They're probably under your feet.
Florida 30, UH 34. Yeah. I just,
went from college basketball to love in basketball. This is probably life in basketball. I don't know if it's necessary. Well, I think we did love life in basketball.
Women, men, and basketball.
But you forgot the live. You forgot the live.
See, it just ain't never enough. See,
God,
you gotta give me. Come on, street.
Literally on Wednesday, I'll say something. He's gonna be like, "See, I'm just not enough."
Wasn't that perfect, street? Wasn't that perfect? I think that was perfect.
That was not perfect. He didn't even laugh. He wasn't even paying attention to you. That's how you know it wasn't good.
Did you just undercut me, dog? You just like that one?
Yeah, no, you sat right here and watched Really Flawed on her minstrel cook me about Texas versus Miami, and you cried. I ain't feeling sorry for you, boy.
Why are you lessening being cooked and try to act like I was on my period? like I was emotional.
Experience that day.
Look at that. Even Jen said, "Never enough." Jen, we got to get you on the show one day.
You're just mad that I gave you the business and you're trying to justify it, acting like I was in my weak moment. No, I meant every single thing I said. Every word. Every single word. From the second you took off your glasses to the second you folded your arms to the second Coach Hayes was like, I don't know what to say.
You should have said, hey, you should have said, put your glasses back on.
Put your glasses back on.
I couldn't laugh because in that moment I could tell he was so annoyed with me. And so it was too funny. Because he was just like, what am I supposed to say to this? Like, what am I supposed to say?
Street, can I tell you something? I hate to say this, though. I had to leave you out there. And the reason I had to is because I've had these kind of arguments and I can never win them, dog, because I don't have nothing to fight back. I don't. That's why I try not to have these arguments. Because
so basically, he was waiting to see if you could come up with something so he could.
Basically, dog, I'm trying to see if you had something I thought of. Because the only thing I could think of is exactly what you were saying, and it never ended well for me. You literally see me get cooked on the anniversary show by 2 ladies. 2 CU aunties.
We've been to the mountaintop.
They said they are not CU aunties. Remember, they were like, "No, we ain't that."
My bad. I said that too. Yeah.
They were like, "No, we're not that." I was like,
the lady called me a whopper head, and I couldn't say nothing but laugh at her, dog. Like, Coach, hey, you ain't nothing but a whopper head.
She did.
A whopper head.
I love that.
I was like, yes, ma'am. I'm a whopper head. Sorry.
Anyways.
No, we don't know what's looking out for the game or not, dog. We'll see
y'all next week. We'll see y'all next week.
Street, let me cut it on. I ain't gonna lie to you, Street. You gonna be honest? I don't even have cable, dog. I can't even watch that thing. You know why?
Wait, Street.
Because I'm paying now, so I don't have to pay later. Shout out to the old girl in the building. Yes, sir.
Street, what are you expecting for Pro Day for Miami? Give us like just 2 things that you're expecting to see at Miami Pro Day.
Oh, the spring game.
I mean, sorry, spring game. Miami spring game.
I was about to say stripper running 4-8. I didn't know if you didn't know.
No, isn't it Friday? Isn't y'all spring game Friday?
Yep.
It's Friday? Hold on, it's Friday?
Saturday?
Hold on, Street. I need you to
What's the date?
It's Saturday.
12? Okay.
It's Saturday.
You know what time, Street?
No.
God damn. All right, I need to find out the time.
What are you expecting?
Are they showing it? I don't know nothing.
I want to see the freshman wide receiver. Freshman wide receiver has been killing camp, and I want to see him. I want to see him do it live. I want to see Ray Ray step up. It's his time. It's been a long time. I would like to see our defensive backfield reassure us that we're going to be okay. Have a big day. Because last year, that was a debacle last year, bro.
Are they showing it anywhere? Are they showing the game anywhere?
I think it's on the ACC channel.
Miami full of shit, bro.
Yeah, I think it's on ACC channel. But yeah, that's basically what I'm looking for, man. I want to see Ray Ray. Like, it's his turn. He's been really patient. He had an interview the other day. He said all the right things. I want to see him like step up. It's his time now. Restrepo's gone. Restrepo held half a 305 back for the last 5 years. Then he held dudes off.
Yeah.
Dude, this thing say Miami spring game $118 a ticket for general admission.
How much?
$118 each.
Yeah, I believe that. They've been trying to make money on the spring game the last 2 years. They've been trying to make money on the spring game the last few years. Like, so it's like, and I think a lot of things in life are going to
Can you send in an additional $25 so Coach Hayes can go to the spring game?
I don't want to go in
Start a fundraiser for Coach Hayes to get into the spring game. Send those super chats so Coach Hayes can get in the spring game. $118?
I just saw it on Vivid. I saw it on Vivid Seats. I hope that was like a joke or something, a late April Fool's joke or something.
I think the spring game. I think the spring game is April 12th, 5:30, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. I think it's for like certain people, like certain level donors. Last year they only let certain people in the spring game, so I guess they're saying maybe somebody got a ticket, right?
But
maybe
is it being
got an email and they counted it?
If they,
it'll be on live, bro. It'll be live streamed on ESPN Plus and ACC Network X.
The hell is that?
Like Bally Sports or some shit. Bro, ain't nobody doing spring games and we still can't steal one of their slots. God damn, dog.
Just subscribe to it for 1 day so you can get the game and then unsubscribe.
Matter of fact, can Texas let us borrow the Longhorn Network since they're not doing the spring game? Can we borrow that for since y'all such winners over there?
I would let you, but our baseball team that's ranked number 2 in the nation right now is playing this weekend, so it's not available. What?
You know what, really, Floyd? With that being said,
not just a football school.
Right here, the world's smallest.
Not just a volleyball school. Not just a basketball school. Not just a diving school.
I wish that was a glue stick.
School.
Instead of chapstick, I wish it was a glue stick. How about that?
No, you don't. No, you don't.
That's a big ass chapstick. That's all I can tell you.
Hey, it does what it needs to do. That's all I can tell you.
Look at it. All right, now. Leave that right there. Street, don't act like you didn't hear what she said. Street looking like Stevie Wonder. He like this.
Y'all don't let me watch.
Like Street doesn't care.
He like, I just call to say I love you.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
Coach Hayes getting his ass cooked. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
That is, I was thinking, I'm like, what is that?
I want to say how high are the monitors in your house on the ceiling?
Right. Why are you looking like that? It's so funny. It's so funny that you caught it at the same time.
No, because Hey, Street, I'm looking for help, and you like this.
I'm about to go out basketball. Y'all can stay here laughing. Y'all gonna let me watch one jump shot. Look at Ray Flaw. Look at Ray Flaw when they house flooded that night. Look at him right now.
What?
Damn.
What did he say?
He said, "Look at the house flooded." Oh, my man down there asleep.
He said, "Look at the house flooded." So, are you doing the thing you accuse people of doing to you? Oh, boy, man. I tell you, life comes at you fast.
No,
boy.
it was a lady and some kids walking by. Y'all just missed it.
Oh damn! Street went.
You ain't worth a quarter.
Street went hard.
See, yeah, that's all we can. Our next planning meeting, I will not be available.
I didn't even see him sit down, dog. How did he get there? He didn't sit down.
These two acting like the national championship ain't going. Somebody didn't score the game.
Our next planning meeting, I'm not available because you just made me look weak. Street.
I'm gonna throw it in her face right now.
You know what I mean?
Throw it in her face.
You're a woman.
Throw it in her face.
You're a woman. You're supposed to be weak.
Throw it in her face right now, Street. This is the time.
You can't be weak when you have all this power, baby.
What power?
And for Act 2, we're playing Rick Ross. Push it to the limit.
Anyways, I'm done talking to y'all. I'm done. No planning meeting. I'll see y'all. Wait, is next week when we're going to do the draft? No, the week after. We're going to have a draft show.
We're going to draft Cam Ward first. That's all that matters after that. After that, don't know what's matter, baby.
Yeah, are we going to do it for how we think they're going to draft? Is that the plan?
Yeah, it don't matter.
Okay.
We discussed this in our meeting.
Play the violin. Yeah, we'll discuss it. I'm not coming to the meeting because you threw my life in my face and you made me feel weak. And so now that I feel weak, I'm not showing up.
Oh, damn.
You are weak. You're a woman. You're supposed to be weak.
Oh, Lord. Jesus. There's a fire. I don't know nothing about all this that's going on.
Anyways, well, I'm done with this show. So I'll have an attitude.
So it's time to go now that you're done with the stuff.
I'm done. And because this show can't go on without me, this needs to be over. Because I'm weak. Yeah. Say it again.
Hey,
say it
let
again.
me ask y'all a question. I'm looking at Netflix.
You're only talking to me. The real weak guy left.
What happened to the street?
Hey, he had enough.
So did the lady sell? So did the lady sell the Red Balloon show to Netflix?
I heard that.
Yeah, I think it's a man that owned it though.
But I think that
I think it's the husband. Yeah,
I think they did sell it, and I think people are trying to figure out if they can still do it on that YouTube channel.
Because they have a whole nother person on Netflix now, kind of like the new host is like advertising it.
Yeah, I don't know.
God bless her, man.
Yeah, that lady famous. Yeah, that lady famous. That's the lady from Issa Rae.
I know, but I'm saying that's awesome, man.
Play that violin again.
Here you go, just trying to tell us what to do.
I might get up and do a silhouette. I don't know what that is. I was lying. I'm not into it.
I'm playing fast as I can.
Wait, did you just sit there and go telling y'all what to do?
There y'all go, telling us what to do. Play the music.
Anyways.
Yes, madam.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you want to go to my channel and see amazing content, it is really flawed. The content is really flawed and really sexy sometimes, really informative. You will love it. And if you want to watch Coach Hayes, he has some good content. He has WREs, and he would love for you to watch them, share the content, comment on the content. If you have any questions or anything like that, he will not answer, so don't put them in the comment section below. However, I'm just kidding. However, if you have questions, put them in the comment section below because somebody will answer you. I will say that your chat sometimes, like the engagement in your chat amongst people in the chat is really good. So that is really good. And then I only talk about strong men, so I'm done.
I'm strong. Street, she ain't say nothing about you, dog. Get her, dog. Don't be acting light skin now.
Really fly mama so bad.
Oh.
That's all I have to say. So I'm done talking.
All right. So with all that being said, like I said, appreciate y'all. 234 in the building. Look at that. I wouldn't suspect 234 people be with us while the Natty's going on, but y'all been hanging out with us. Appreciate it. Much love. Just want to say this before we get up out of here. Footballville mama so big she can use her towel to dry up that entire street out there. We out of here. Peace.